over this wonderful country that has really shot to prominence in basketball. Really, I would suggest in the last decade, but especially with the B.LEAGUE taking off the way that it has, the B.LEAGUE 1, B.LEAGUE 2, and you can see the teams will meet in the third place game. And B.LEAGUE coming together in 2016, the nation of two then leagues. What has only become growing international basketball. And tonight we have the Asia All-Stars, the Rising. Now the Asia All-Stars are all the Asian quota imports. So we're going to see Kai Soto, we're going to see Sergio Darwish, keeper of Ravenna, plus the Rising Stars, B.LEAGUE players 24 and below. And then we've got the B2 selection, which is the second division, and the very best from Kyushu. This is going to be an exciting occasion, Jeff. Team in the B.LEAGUE in Japan this season, Nagasaki Velka. They're up at the top in the B1 7-3 record, and in the West, and that is well, that's pretty impressive stuff. And we'll see some of the Nagasaki Velka players taking part in these games. But you know, again, it is all about kind of switching gears, and you know that the players really enjoy the moments when they can just kind of switch off from the pressure. I mean, there's not really too much pressure, but look at the rules, the 20-point knockout. So 10-minute countdown, clock doesn't stop for free throws or substitution, no timeouts. Substitutions are allowed during dead balls, and if tied to regulation, the game continues. First to score wins in sudden death. So the final is actually going to be a 30-point knockout. So if you get to 30, then that wins it. Unlimited time, 2 timeouts per team. So the rules change a little bit if they get to the final. But these, I think these semifinals and in the third place game, they're going to just go by really quickly. Yeah, and I think the B.LEAGUE also has tried to make it a little bit more competitive this season. But I think the interesting thing is, you mentioned Nagasaki Velka. Jeff, this is a team that went from the lowest division of professional basketball in Japan and had 3 consecutive promotions. And we're going to see some of their key players in the likes of Yudai Baba, Ako, in the likes of Stanley Johnson, not to mention Lee Hyun-jung, who will be a part of the Asia Quota All-Stars. So I'm looking very forward to this matchup. Well, there's the captain of the B2 selected, Yu Watanabe, coming out, plays with Shinshu Brave Warriors. And Jack Cooley, the captain of Kyushu United, and for Jack Cooley, one of the signature players of the Ryukyu Golden Kings. And also looking at Chae-min from Korea, the Duraki Robots, the captain of the Asian All-Stars, and also Ren Kanechika, the captain of the Rising Stars. And of course, he plays with Chiba Jets. And it's just fun to see so many different color jerseys and big board. These guys are, I suggest, relishing the moment to take center stage, especially as captains.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Jae-min, of course, one of the key stars coming out of Korea, now having his career with Ibaraki Robots. But Jeff, you look at that man right there, he wants out. I mean, he plays with the Akatsuki Japan's national team, so key players. Good to see the likes of the big man from Ruku Golden King, Jack Cooley, but I think, you know, these players, what a big moment it is for them to be the captains of these respective teams in the All-Star Weekend.
Well, I think what we also get is look at Watanabe again. The B2 League, you know, teams trying to make it to the B1. Let's listen to you, Watanabe.
すみません、ちょっと日本語使って、でもちゃんと B2 バスケを見せたいです。はい。
ありがとうございます。渡辺選手ありがとうございました。そしてジャック・クーリー選手、九州ユナイテッドのキャプテン。このトーナメント、新たなフォーマット。What are you thinking about this format?
You know, I'm excited to play two games and hopefully win a championship.
とてもエキサイトしていますと、このゲームにできればチャンピオンになりたいというふうに九州ユナイテッドキャプテンジャック・クーリー選手いただきました。
I tell you what, when you need a rebound, that's the guy you want to go to, isn't it?
Absolutely, the big bounder rebound in the B-League.
What do you think about this format, tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited. It's really an honor to be in this tournament. We have so many talented players waiting in the backstage. I think they're waiting for the winnings.
とても光栄です、ここに参加できること、そしてエイジアオールスターズには素晴らしいタレントを持った選手たちが控えているので、その選手たちとともに勝つことができると思います。コメントいただきました。そして続いてライジングスターズキャプテン金近蓮選手です。オールスターいかがでしょう。はい、
楽しいです。
このトーナメントについて勝つ自信はございますか。
いやちょっとはい強そうな感じなんですけど、だいぶキャプテンが、はい、去年初めてライジン勝てたので、今年もしっかりと勝って2連覇できるように頑張ります。
ありがとうございます。以上、各チームのキャプテンから意気込みをお伺いしました。それでは選手の皆さんは準備をお願いします。Please get ready for the game. Thank you. さあ、この後いよいよです。
Well, without a doubt, you know, you're looking without a doubt, Jack Cooley probably the one player that's the most significant player in that group. But Rin Kanechika certainly is a hugely important player for Chiba, and it's going to be interesting to see how all of these guys blend together and work together. It'll be interesting to see how many plays they run. I'm not sure. I think it's just going to be wide open. As we look at B2 selected, getting ready to take on Kyushu United.
Well, I think you're right, Jeff. It's going to be a very open game. I think that's the beauty of the All-Star game. It's good for the players because a lot of these players are featured for some very tough teams. So I think it's a good chance for the players and the fans to enjoy themselves this weekend at the Happiness Arena.
2026 Semifinal, Game 1!
So again, Game 1, and we should say that the 8 prefectures of the Kyushu region are Fukuoka, Kumamoto, Nagasaki, Oita, Saga, Kagoshima, and this is an Okinawa and Miyazaki. This is a wonderful place to come to visit.
Number 1, Fukushima Fireball.
We should also say that it's known as the historical gateway to Asia. So you see Nakano coming out. Greatfield as well, part of the B2 selected. Ambitious Nara, 5 years of age. Let's hope that he captivates us with one of those dunks that we just read about. Keisuke Masuda. It's a piece of cake, that's his motto. And Asai, well known for his three-point shooting prowess. And how about the festival guy raised in Hawaii?
Well, he's the energy player.
And now,
the one thing that you notice, the ages of these players. These are young guys.
Oh, definitely, you've got players coming through the ranks, and I think that's a good problem. Here comes one of the more veteran players.
Yes. Speaking of young guys, how about this? Michael Parker, definitely not young, 44 years of age. That's a long career. Hachimura averaging 107 points per game with Kobe.
Number 10,
6 years of age, of course, Rui. Hachimura, his brother, the Japan star, the Lakers star, Nagano, who lives with Yokohama. Excellence. For whom the bell tolls, scored in his 4th season.
And number 34, Shinshu Warriors,
The Wizards, 34 years of age. How about Watanabe? We already talked about him. From Oahu, Hawaii. So
Interesting mix of blended talent. You got the age in Parker. You've also got so many young players. And Jeff, there's a lot on the table for these players to prove in this All-Star weekend.
Please welcome Kyushu.
hey, Josh, every game that you play is on tape. Everybody will always watch it. By the way, Kanatuka said he's excited the tournament suffer today, but he'll do his best. Okay, looking at Kyushu United, Shota Yamamoto, Masaya Karimata. Boy, what a feisty guard he is for his team. The Nagasaki Belka, hugely important player on that team. Ryo Sadahara. Look at those muscles. Strong physique.
Well, he's the one who made the transfer from Fighting Eagles Nagoya to play for the Golden Kings. So, yeah, he's had a very good year so far.
Hey, look at Ryo Abe, father of 3. We know what that's about. Sorry, Ucho's 24-player makes a difference with his defense. And Anthony Gaines Jr. has the pressure of player number 23. Last year's dunk contest champion. And, of course, whenever you wear number 23, you always think about MJ.
Got to have some game wearing that, and we know he definitely does playing in B2. A big occasion for him as well.
Number 7, Rising Zephyr Fuoka.
You got Nishikawa, 34 years of age, and has been around the block. I guess you would call him a journeyman playing for 17. Ko Kumagai as well. Nagasaki Belka star, so playing in front of the home folks. And Stanley Johnson. Well, Josh, that kind of takes my breath away. I mean, that guy could take our job. He's like, he is quite the entertainer, isn't he? He was built for this.
He's always been an energy player. I remember the 2 years he played for Chiba Jets. Like I said, he wasn't really able to break into the team, but always in the post-game, tradition of when the players would present themselves to the fans, he would do the same trademark. It's like a Ric Flair, woo! And the fans in Japan, they love him for it, Jeff. He's iconic for that. That's what makes him such an invaluable sort of asset to Japanese basketball.
Josh, I can't believe you just referenced Ric Flair. That is impressive stuff. I thought that was from my era. 76-year-old Ric Flair, wrestling champion in Tennessee.
He was still wrestling when I was a teenager, Jeff. I mean, it's just, whenever I hear that sound, and a lot of people do it in various sports, I always think that sounds just like Ric Flair. Marcus Tobin, I don't know if he is a Ric Flair fan, but it's definitely Ric Flair in Japanese basketball.
Marcus Tobin lighting it up and full of vim and vigor and really, I think, just what this is all about. I mean, they did a good job finding the man that was going to come out and entertain. I mean, he was entertaining during the game itself, but he was even more entertaining after the game.
Yeah, and I think that's what you're going to get from him. He's such a great personality. He's a bright kid. The fans really love him. That is the aspect of being selected for a B.LEAGUE All-Star game. You bring your game, but you've also got to bring something extra. You got to give these fans a little bit something else. And, Jeff, I say this in every B.LEAGUE game I cover. You and I could be covering Ryukyu Golden Kings versus Hokkaido Lavenga. There won't be an empty seat in the building, and depending whether the game would be played in Okinawa or Sapporo, you would see traveling fans. You see Chiba Jets fans right there courtside. They've made the journey all the way here to Nagasaki. So these fans want their money's worth, and if you can personify and give every player a little bit of a connection to the fans, that's all they're ever going to ask for.
Yeah, it kind of comes with the territory. You got to be ready to let it go. And we'll be getting to watch a little bit more. I'm curious. He might just have gotten the MVP with that performance, to be honest.
I'd have to agree with you on that one.
Game and post-game. So anyway, so you see that was Brakefield. He was quite entertaining as well. Parker and Nakano again had the tone-setting three. Anthony Gaines Jr. had the dunk. And then Cooley and Ishikawa, they just never really got it going. So they will play for third place. Kyushu United is the two selected team into the final. And I don't know what I liked more from Tobin. I guess it was his alley-oop pass. He was putting it on a platter for his teammate. And the lob pass, Hawaiian style.
Well, it had a bit of aloha on it, didn't it, Jeff? I mean, he threw that from half court in transition, but what a connection in the end made by Brakefield.
Had a little bit of pineapple. The best pineapples that I ever had from Hawaii, but I'm sure in this area they must have some nice pineapples.
Well, Jeff, I'll have to invite you in the future to the Bet residence when we're back in Vietnam, because I'm definitely the family will have something to say about that in Southeast Asia. But yeah, I mean, Jeff, looking at this next game though, I'm looking very forward to, because this is the kind of matchup you look out for in the All-Star weekend in the B.LEAGUE. Some of these, B.LEAGUE rising stars, although they're under 24 years of age, some of them are key players in their teams. You got Takuto Nakamura for Guma Crane Thunders. We already mentioned Shinji Takashima, who both you and I saw at the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, and Ren Kanichka. They'll have something to say coming into this lineup, because they know a lot of attention does go to the Asia import players. And my word, we already talked about that being a melting pot of the FIBA Asia Cup. Not only East Asia, Jeff, but West Asia too. It is an all-star team for the Quotas.
It really is. And again, it's all about opportunity, and a lot of it is about presentation and connecting with the fans. And I'm not sure that there's any league that I've seen where they are so connected to the fans, and the fans that just sit on their seats and just appreciate effort. Their guys going out and really, it's a huge weekend, isn't it? When you get your tickets and you go to watch your team play. I mean, they are just living for it. They show up with fans and show up with the shirts and the placards of their favorite players, and they go out, they wave to them after the game, very respectful. B.LEAGUE must be, I would think, one of the funnest places, one of the best stops in a pro player's career. And we've seen it. We've seen so many players come out that come here like Jack Cooley. They don't leave because they like it so much. But anyway, you look back, Josh, and here, this is what started it, knocking it down, and it was game over. That's what started the game. And they already had all of that feel-good factor in their team, didn't they?
Well, there were the first three by James Bell. It was the second one he made that set this game apart. And like I said, early start, if you get off to a good start in this kind of match, knowing now the format's different, it's going to go in your favor. Well, Jeff, interesting note about Parker. He played in one country early in his career prior to coming in Japan. One of them was Germany, the other one was Ireland. He played for the Limerick Lions. So quite an extensive resume he's had in his international career.
That really is. And I'm guessing that Japan would be his favorite spot, although in Rhode Island always is a nice place to visit. A little bit windy. Of course, you get some big wins here as well. That was Brakefield catching the alley-oop from Tobin and going up and jamming. And then we saw Tobin with the return gesture from his teammate. Goes up and jams it home. He's got some pops, doesn't he?
Well, he's got the bunnies for sure, definitely. But what we see from Brakefield just going coast to coast, and that was the play that called game, Jeff.
Tobin was so good in his post-game remarks, I could almost listen to it again.
Well, like you said, we may see him one day with us, Jeff, courtside, whether it be at a B.LEAGUE game or who knows. I mean, he's got the personality. The sky is the limit for Marcus Tobin.
The sky is literally the limit when you look at how high he can get up. So we're going to switch gears from Kyushu United and B2 Selected, and the fans are waiting for the Rising Stars and the Asian All-Stars. And you've already spoken about Takashima perhaps going to come out and steal the show. Okay, well, let's go back and look at this again. Brakefield had the 6 points, Parker 4 points. Nagano with the game opening 3. And Gaines came out. I was surprised he came out of the game after he had the dunk. He felt the sense of urgency. And then he had Nishikawa that hit the 3, Cooley hit the 2. It was just a little bit, Kyushu just kind of knocked out of their stride and just never were able to come back here in Nagasaki.
Always tough being the coach in these kind of games because you got to make sure that both teams get a representation of every single player.
So Asia All-Stars coming up against the B.LEAGUE Rising Stars. And again, the Asia All-Stars, well,
B.LEAGUE All-Star Asia Cross Tournament 2026
plenty of talent.
Semifinal Game 2.
But there is plenty of talent also amongst these rising stars. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe a little bit more bounce in their steps since they've got youth on their side.
Well, I think you said it very correctly. When you got the likes of John Lawrence Harper, not to mention the young rising star in Hayato Wakagawa. There's a lot of bunnies, a lot of hops that we're probably going to see. Terrell Sudo as well, the Fighting Eagles Nagoya. So we'll look at the Asian quota All-Stars first.
Well, Darwish, one of Millie's leading guards, that never have truer words been written there. Plays for the Sendai 89ers. And we all know about the love and the passion that they have in Lebanon for their basketball. It's a basketball country, just like the Philippines. And Keeper Ravena, who's just a wonderful person and player. And Omar Jamaluddin, wing player armed with athleticism. he really showed the excitement at the FIBA Asia Cup this summer playing for Lebanon. It's been a really good transition for him. The Rocky Robots are lucky to have Yang in their team, first Korean player. But certainly people waking up in the nearby in Korea, always curious to know how Yang is doing.
And now, Asia All-Stars starting five. Number 0, Shigo Lakes, Chinese Taipei.
Aiche from Chinese Taipei. And
number 1, Osaka Ambassador,
Ray Parks has a very distinctive style of play, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, his father was a great player back in the PBA, but as you mentioned, he's a very interesting combo guard. So another great player to look out for in this matchup.
Right, Ramos, Noble Boy, a favorite also in Japan. Not sure where that comes from, Noble Boy. He's really elevated his game this season. This guy here, Lee Hyung-jung, is just taking over Asia, in my opinion. His performances also for Korea, the national team, against China in the last window and also at the Asia Cup. AJ Odu, again, has also, I think, really kind of stepped up this season with Gunma Crane Thunders. Look at all this talent in the Philippines and the Filipinos that are here and the Gilas players. And I do think that, wow, that country has so much potential to climb higher and higher with their national team. But it's great to see, it's great to have so many Filipino players here in Japan. How about John Lawrence Harper Jr. now? Here's a guy that played at the FIBA Asia Cup this summer, and he was electrifying.
Well, he's tough. You know, the thing you like from him, you got to get, well, in the B.LEAGUE that is, over in Japan, 40 minutes of very tough, intense man-to-man defense.
Toda likes a good sauna. You should go to Finland. Got some saunas there. Sato Ogawa.
That's been a big year for Ogawa now playing at Kyoto. Many years back up to Yuki Togashi, the Chiba Jet, so good opportunity for him in his career.
He really is. Leon Watanabe and with Altieri Chiba, just 19 years of age. Hasegawa as well with Shiga Legs is 20. And he's got some hops, got some all-around skills.
And now, Rising Stars starting five.
So the starting five for
number 6, Gunma Crane Thunders.
The Rising Stars is going to be Nakamura. Gunma Crane Thunders.
Good. He was a monumental when the Dragonflies won the B.LEAGUE Championship in 2024. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have won, Jeff.
This large point guard, Wanagawa, make huge leaps. Way to put it, large. And then you got Kano, who's known for getting up over the rim and throwing it down. Sudo as well. Oh, I love that. Got the wingspan, fitting that he plays for Fighting Eagles.
I like the yoga pose coming out.
And Red Kanachika of the Chiba Jets. He's 22 years of age. You get that? Well, I'll let you talk about his handsome bush.
I was about to say, he might be the most handsome player in the B.LEAGUE, but, you know, Jack Cooley may have the most beautiful hair in the B.LEAGUE, so definitely a great showcase. But, Jeff, I've got an interesting story about Wakugawa. So in the summer of 2023, he was teammates with Leon Watanabe when they played for the Japanese U19 team at the FIBA U19 World Championship. And he came on the court in a game that he wasn't playing sideline to try and get a selfie with Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, the humility and just the kindness of this kid. You know, smiling as he's, you know, they made it to the quarterfinals. They were a very good team. But he was destined, so eager to get a selfie with the great Dirk Nowitzki in that game.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you? I mean, he probably, perhaps, is the guy that he looks up to in his career. Again, Lee Hyung-jung is, for my money, the hottest. He might be the hottest player in Japan. Lee Hyung-jung.
Well, he was crucial. He was crucial for Korea in those two games against China at the World Cup qualifiers. And Jeff, I'm going to make a bold statement. I've said this since the summer of 2021 when he played for the national team at the Asian Cup qualifiers. He is destined to be probably one of the greatest, if not the best small forward in East Asian basketball history.
What does Lee Hyung-jun and Steph Curry have in common? What do they have in common?
Well, they share the same alumni. They share the same university, of course. I mean, it's only fitting after seeing him play in that summer 2021. You know, the beautiful shooting technique, the clutchness in his game. It was only fitting that he was going to go play at the same alma mater as Stephen Curry.
At Davidson College, Bob McKillop, and so many greats have been at Davidson, Lee Hyung-jun. And he's kind of, you know, I think experiencing also Australian basketball probably helped him anytime you broaden your horizons, and then you come, even for the Japanese players, if they go overseas and then they come back, I think it's always good to match yourself against different styles, and also for the likes of Jamal Adine to leave Lebanon and to come to Japan. I think it's really good for his development. So you, Ray Park Jr., Dwight Ramos, Lee Hyung-jun, Yang, the captain, Sergio El Darwish, another Lebanese international, Kiefer Urbana, AJ Edu, and Jamal Adine, who is 25 years of age. Definitely a who's who list of internationals in this team.
Well, you made a very good point of going back to Lee Hyun-jun, spending time in the NCAA and then obviously in the NBL and Australian. I think what the B-League doesn't get enough credit for is the physical defense in the backcourt. But let's listen now to Dwight Ramos.
Yes. So how much fun are you having here?
I'm having fun. You know, it's a nice place, nice hotel, and I'm having fun with the guys.
すごく楽しんでいるということですね。ホテルも充実しているし、とにかく楽しいメンバーとプレーができるというのが楽しいですと。You know, how much fun is it to be able to, you know, reunite with guys like, you know, Ray Park Jr., AJ, those guys that, you know, you've joined forces with before?
It's always fun to be with the Filipino guys, but it's also fun being with like the Korean and the Lebanese guys and I. So it's fun just being all together.
フィリピンの、ね、いつも一緒に戦う選手たちとプレーできることも楽しいけど、韓国の選手、台湾の選手、などとプレーできることも非常に楽しいので、楽しんでいますと。Can you game plan for something like this? You know, how does that work?
Not really. I mean, we're just gonna play, do what we do, and then see what happens.
ゲームプランということは実際に戦術的なことはできないけど、とにかくもう思い切ってプレーすること、それが大事だと言っています。Alright, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dwight Ramos of Lubanga Hokkaido, of course, of Philippines fame, coming out. And again, Josh, I think he's really just looks much more comfortable this season. For whatever reason, Lubanga Hokkaido having a great season. He's averaging 12.7 points per game. This is his fourth season with Hokkaido, and maybe having some of that stability and also the new coach this season, it just seems to be working well, but also surrounded by, you know, other great players like Tominaga now back in Japan. Kosei Tominaga playing with Lubanga Hokkaido. I love John Haller for that team as well, and they've got the great talent of little Okafor. So Dwight Ramos is one of these guys you'd always have in your team. And here we are now. Look, Lee Hyung-jun, Edu, Ramos, Ray Parks, and you. And, wow, that is an awesome starting five. Put it mildly.
Well, that's a FIBA Asia Cup All-Star 5, isn't it, Jeff? But going back to Ramos, one of the coaches that he had in his development build-up after he left the NCAA to go play in the UAP in the Philippines, he played at Ateneo, and he was coached by Tab Baldwin. And Tab Baldwin's one of those old-school great coaches, so I guess that really impacted Dwight Ramos' development playing for him.
まずこの長崎でのこのオールスターウィーケンドのこのエクスペリエンス、どれくらい楽しんでますか？
いや本当に1年目なんですけど、本当にこの雰囲気っていうのをめったにないことなんで、本当にいろんなエナジーっていうのをこう楽しんでいこうかなというふうに思います。
あとチームメイトには日本代表でも一緒だった、金近選手だったり、加納豊重選手もいますけど、そういう選手たちと一緒にまた再会できる、力を合わせることいかがですか？
そうですね、まあ、兼近とは、まあ、大学とかも代表とかも一緒にやってたので、まあ、この試合も自分たちのホットラインというのを見せていきたいなというふうに思います。
彼が実は黄色のユニフォーム着るとちょっとサンロッカーズの選手に見えますよね。
そうですね。
Josh, they had to get the very handsome Kanechika in there, didn't they?
ハンパリングにならないよね。はい。
Just wonder what Greg Kanechika thinks of that accolade.
I
wonder if he even knows.
そうですね、やっぱ
He must
加納選手が今日スリー打つって言ってるので、
What I find
はい、
interesting
加納選手のスリーに今日はちょっと注目してほしいなというふうに思います。
加納選手のスリーにも期待しますけど、ご自身の意気込みをお願いします。
自分は
Look at him play.
まあ勝つのにもこだわるんですけど、それよりもこう楽しんで、こうみんなで楽しんだらこういいかなというふうに思うので、楽しむことに集中した頑張っていきたいなと思います。
はい、ありがとうございました。
Had him in his team this past summer at the FIBA Asian Cup in Jeddah because he's one of these guys that's worth the price of admission, and he'll get to play hopefully a lot for this team. So the handsome Kanechika up at the top of Zico Coronel's team. Hey, it's our favorite coach, Zico Coronel, and John Lawrence Harper. You know Coronel, the New Zealander. Taiyo Matoda, Nakamura, Ogawa, Wakugawa, Kano, Sudo, Watanabe, and Hasegawa. We saw Coronel at the FIBA Asia Cup, and hey, listen, Harper, basically he said, I really like this atmosphere, I'm looking forward to it. I played with Kanechika in college, so I think he'll be able to play well. Basically say, I've also heard that Kano will be shooting threes, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I think you're right, Jeff. I mean, when you're going back to Lawrence, I think he embodies what Japanese basketball has been able to develop, some very elite backcourt primary ball handlers. And I think you and I could debate for hours maybe over a cup of coffee. Who should be playing in this All-Star game? Who should be playing for Tama Vasa the next window? Jeff, I could probably put a whole All-Star team of point guards in the B-League. They just seem to keep producing very quick, physical point guards who have such a great offensive game and also have fantastic vision.
Kanechika, Nakamura, Wakugawa, Kano, and Sudo in the starting five for the Rising Stars. I mean, the good thing about it, in my opinion, is you're playing in Japan and you're good enough, you're going to get a look in that Japanese national team program. You'll be invited to a camp. You'll be, you know, it's very fair. I mean, when Hovas came in, he really looked at players all over the country. He looked at the B2 League, and I think it's such an incredible honor for any player just to be invited to camp, never mind to actually make the team. And I don't know that there's any team in Asia that does it better than Japan when it comes to inclusiveness and really promoting it. Now this is interesting. Large point guard expected to make a huge league, Wakugawa, with Santa New Phoenix, is 21 years of age. Bright future.
Well, I tell you where a lot of the elite players, the rising players in Japan, seem to stop off in their career. And we can talk about this man, Hayato Wakugawa, Ishiga Lakes. So prior to going to San Antonio Phoenix, now they're not having the best season this year in B1, but that's where he played. So it's an interesting stopping for the development of a lot of elite Japanese players.
Well, Josh, just a quick recap. We just watched the first game that was won by the B2 selected, and they got to the 20-point knockout before the end of the 10 minutes. So the game finished earlier than expected, certainly for Kyushu United. And the clock doesn't stop, no timeouts, subs are allowed, and dead balls. And, well, there is Wataru Kuchi. You see him over there, the head coach.
Gotta love Zico Coronel, Jeff. He's a great guy, great coach, but fans watching need to remember he started as an assistant, and in very unfortunate, tragic circumstances, the passing of the late great Kevin Bracewell meant he had to take the realm at Utsunomiya Brex. But he's really thrived with his coaching career here in Japan. They love him in Tojiki, so it's a great opportunity for him as a coach.
Yeah, you also saw Kevin Anzenberger there from Nagasaki, one of the assistant coaches. Comes from my neck of the woods, in fact, from North Carolina. So you've got Kano, Kanachika, Masato, Watsugawa, and Nakamura for the Rising Stars, and the All-Stars, Yu, Sparks, Ramos, Lee, and AJ Edu.
I love this game, Jeff. You know, it's a different format this year, but it's always great to see, even if it is a very loose, relaxed game. The thing that makes it better this year for the Asia quota players, it is a mix across the entire continent. We got West, East, and Southeast Asia all together in one. And I'll give a big shout out to the Edu family. I'm very good friends of AJ Edu's parents. They're a lovely family. They've done a magnificent job in raising a beautiful family, and it's great to see the young man, you know, really thriving and really excelling out here in the B-League. Because going back to, you know, the coach growing up in your neck of the woods, Jeff, he grew up in my neck of the woods. He grew up in the United Kingdom. AJ Edu, born in Cyprus, but actually grew up playing in the southwest of the United Kingdom. Family now lives just north of London. So it's great to see, I would say, you know, great to see a fellow countryman of mine, even though he does play for the Philippines, you know, thriving and playing very well here in Japan.
And for those that don't know, AJ stands for Aerial John. Well, definitely Cyprus would have been well advised to get him in their team.
Well, he had the option to play for Great Britain, Cyprus, Nigeria, and the Philippines. Ultimately, he went with Gilas.
Oh, what a heartbreaker for Great Britain. Another one that got away from the Brits. So many.
Don't get me started, Jeff.
So we are underway. Another jump shot, no good. Yeah, another one that got away. Isaac Fotu, born in Yorkshire, plays for New Zealand. Also a big star in Asia. Here is, in Japan rather. Here's a three-pointer, and look at that, not messing around, coming out and knocking it down. Pseudo.
Well, there's that early three-pointer. Now, does that dictate how this game is going to go? Remember, 20 points.
Well, I guess not, because Dwight Ramos says, hey, don't forget, I'm one of the premier jump shooters in the world, and I'm going to knock down a three.
What was his nickname? Noble Boy? They call him Saint Dwight, Papa Dwight in the Philippines.
Wow. Well, yeah, once again, number 24 is lighting it up. Leon Watanabe, and I wouldn't have thought that he would be the guy, but an easy one, giving up to Kiefer Ravena. Okay, let's see if we see some guarding on the perimeter. I would certainly keep putting them up. And this time it's Pseudo with the layup.
We might get all 20 points, Jeff.
Kiefer says, I'm just not going to mess around. I'm going to tie it up. There's about a meter behind. Finally, a little bit of a heat check. AJ Edu throwing the handles. And this time it's three. Off target. They're missing as well. That was I that missed it at the other end, by the way. For you. See the legs. Here's Parks. Oh, a bit long.
Smart defense, just running at his legs to try and put him off. But, Jeff, good start from both teams, but still quite a bit of basketball to play here in this quarter. But you kind of feel all it's going to take is two possessions for one of these two teams to grab an advantage on this one.
Ravena wanting the, there's the Affable Cornell sitting on the bench, amused by that. I wonder if we've ever seen a technical given in an all-star game.
That's a very good question. I don't think that's the case.
Or an ejection. There's a miss, and Edu has it. So this game, a lot closer. Ooh, powering his way inside Jamaluddin.
Oh, he's let that one from Wild Akchi. Very tough play.
That's a good comparison, actually. There's a three-pointer. Parks again. He's not going to mess around. It looks good. It is good.
If you don't leave Bobby Ray Parks Jr. wide open, that is a must.
Pass put down low, bounce pass. And turns it over again, and here they come. The team you would expect to get it done. Jamal Ladin. He's got 4 points. And it's All-Stars after the fast start by the Rising Stars. Oh, I didn't even see the pose as he went up.
Great season he's having, trying to really propel Kawasaki Brave Thunders. But Jeff, this 5 right here, the Asia All-Stars, the quotas, this would be the kind of 5 you would look at a FIBA Asia Cup and think this could be a first or second team.
Well, they better get the basketball to Harper. He's got it. Now let's watch him go to work.
Jeff, are we seeing a zone defense in an All-Star game?
It would seem so. And what do you do when you get a zone? You bust it! And Leon Watanabe hits his second 3 of the game.
Well, you asked the question, have you ever seen a technical or an ejection in an All-Star game? Jeff, I've never seen a zone played in an All-Star game.
Josh, you cannot stop Leon Watanabe. You can only hope to contain him. There is a miss, and just like that, the Rising Stars on the rise again. John Lawrence Holman Jr. Sunrocker Shibuya hands it off. Oh my! Can you believe it? No wonder he wants to get his pose. Hasegawa next to Nowitzki. It's a 1-point game. And Jamaluddin missing with the layup. And here are the Rising Stars now with a chance to take the lead. And a little bit of pressure building on the Asia All-Stars.
Well, they've come out of the zone defense. Now they know that both teams mean business.
It's game on. Here's Harper. He's got it. Right on cue. Living up to the hype.
This is what the fans came to see. Pay their money's worth. Come to Nagasaki. Great show between both vibes.
And Asia All-Stars come right back and take an 18-17 lead. This game was on a knife edge. And now the question is, will Rising Stars get a 3 up? My advice would be go for the 3 here because Asia All-Stars might come down. Oh, look at this. They steal it. It's going to be one of the plays of the game. And what is the play of the game? You have to say you steals the show. And a costly turnover just before midcourt. And the All-Stars said, we knew we had it all the time. We'll just put you in the game, and you'll take over defensively.
Oh, Chinese Taipei defense coming up with the steal. And then Jeff, I mean, did we even get to see Lee Hyun-jung and Sergio Darwish? The flow of that quarter was just so smooth. We knew both teams would come in, relax, try to go for a lot of three-pointers. But these are the very best players from their respective countries. Japan, China, Korea, Philippines, Lebanon. Jeff, they put on a show tonight. This is what you've got to love about an All-Star weekend here in the B-League.
How about the Filipinos shooting the 3? Ramos had one, didn't he?
Ramos
Parks
had one.
and Rivera had 2.
Yep. We didn't see Lee Hyun-jung. He did come off the bench.
He was just sitting back with his feet up, enjoying. I think he might have a cold, actually. So it could be that maybe they're saving him for later. Who knows? A.J. Edu did not get a 3. I think you need to message his family and ask what's up. Being a Filipino, he's going to have to knock that one down. There's Lee Hyun-jung. Yeah. Hasegawa and Rising Stars, did they let an opportunity slip here?
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to happen here in the B-League All-Star game. But, you know, you think about it, you can see both teams really start to step up the defense. The Asia quota All-Stars, they went to a zone, quickly realized, okay, we're not going to play that. They went into a man. But Rising Stars, Jeff, you said it, a three-pointer would have won them the quarter. Until I Cheer You of Chinese Taipei put on their full-court pressure, something we didn't expect, and it was the steal that won them the game.
All-Stars, Yang Jae-min選手にキャプテンに
Yeah, it almost feels like to get a great defensive play like that, you're like, what? We're not playing great defense, are we? But they did play great defense, and they got the win. And now we're going to hear from Yang.
How do you feel about competition tonight?
It was a great intensive game. They played really hard.
素晴らしい結果です。とてもハードにプレーしましたといただきました。What about the combination, the chemistry of among the all Asian stars?
It was perfect. We start from the defense.
Yeah, he's definitely joking around, but it's true actually when you think about the fact that it was a defensive play that won them the game.
I think you're right there, Jeff. I think he's embracing the moment here, but yeah, there was a little bit of intense play. I mean, we could see both teams really going for it from the perimeter, but the defense, well, that's an interesting point he's made.
We're going to hear from the handsome captain of the Rising Stars, Ren Kanachika. I think they probably feel like they let one get away here because they looked like they were going to, once they got the wind in their sails, that they were going to win it. But in the end, it was Dwight Ramos and co. winning it 20-17. Ensuring that they're going to play in the final. I think we're going to have a hotly contested third place game and final now. The third place game obviously will be played first. And if this team goes back out sooner rather than later, they're not going to cool off. They're going to be just as good as they were there. That was definitely a game that looked like they were going to get the win there for a while.
Well, the final is amongst us. We've got the East Asia quota and the West Asia quota players going up against the B2 selection. But you make a good point, Jeff. The players coming out of this game, the Rising Stars, they'll be a little bit more fresh than Kyushu, I guess, if you think about the time they've been sitting down. But that will be quite an interesting game to see as well, because you got the Rising Stars of the B-League versus the veterans of the Kyushu.
Also, said Leon Watanabe had the 6 points. I mean, who would have expected him to come out and light it up the way that he did? But he hit 2 threes and really stood up. Ravena, the 2 threes and the other bucket. He had the 8 points. Jamaluddin had the 6. He had the great pose, driving in. Bobby Ray Parks had the 3, but so did Dwight Ramos. And Lawrence, 3 points. Terrell Takasudo had 5. I think if Harper had played more, maybe the Rising Stars would have won. He was definitely up for it.
Yeah, John Lawrence Harper is probably one of the best rising talents you'll find in the B-League. And you're probably right there, Jeff. I mean, had he played more, could have been a very different outcome, because he's one of those players going to have the ball in his hands. But let's see what Kiefer Ravena's got to say.
Konnichiwa.
Japanese getting better?
Getting better.
First of all, congrats on the game. How do you feel?
Happy. You know, it was a great feeling getting out there with my fellow Asian quota players. We just wanted to play out here and give the fans, the boosters, a great show.
フィリピンのね、仲のいい選手たちと一緒にプレーができて、そしてブースターの皆さんの前で本当エネルギッシュなゲームができたことが、すごく嬉しいと言っていますね。Your shot was you were on fire today. 8 points, 2 threes. Talk about that.
I mean, you know, just out there having fun. You know, this is the only time in the year where we enjoy the company of our fellow Asian quota players. So made the most out of it. Now we have one more game to win it all.
自分のシュートタッチについてはもうとにかく楽しんでいる結果だと、本当にいつも一緒に、アジア枠の選手たちと対戦している選手たちと力を合わせることがすごく楽しいと言っていますね。So it's your 5th year in Japan now. You know, what do you think about the development of basketball of the B-League in Japan?
I mean, one thing for sure, it's headed to the right direction. Everybody's getting better, all the players, all the locals, the national team. So I'm just very, very honored to be part of a whole organization like the B-League to improve my skills and at the same time showcase where I'm from and
the style of basketball where we come from in the Philippines.
日本では5年目になりましたけど、日本のバスケ、B リーグのバスケ、そして日本代表のチームの強さ、本当にもうぐんぐんと成長しているということを感じていて、本当にそういう意味では自分も B リーグでプレーできるということがすごく嬉しいですと言っています。What are your hopes for the next game? Obviously, you want to win it all, but how are you going to get it done?
I mean, we gotta, play a little harder this time. A lot at stake, a lot of pride, and of course, this happens once in a year. So we gotta make sure we carry that winning tradition for the rest of the year till the next one. So we'll be out here going to win.
決勝はもっとハードにプレーしないと勝てないのではないかと、そしてこれはせっかく年に一度のお祭りなので、しっかりと精一杯戦って勝てるように頑張りますということです。Kiefer Ravenna, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. よろしくお願いします。
Well, you can say that about a lot of the guys, but he really is one of the good guys, Kiefer Ravenna. And 5 years. It's incredible. I remember when you just went to Japan. Oh, look at this. Well, there's Hugh Watanabe must have been impressed by his brother's performance in that game. And Josh Hawkinson up there taking in the action.
Oh, great to see Hawkinson, the naturalized player for Japan. But, Jeff, going back to Kiefer Ravenna, 5 years in the B-League, but many Filipino fans watching will remember this. It was actually his brother that began the journey for all the East Asian quota players. He was the first player from the Philippines to sign in the B-League when the Japan B-League, orchestrated that new East Asia quota rule. And after 30, then came Kiefer, then came Kai Soto, then came Dwight Ramos. It just became, what the B-League is now. We saw more Korean players, more Chinese players, more Chinese Type A players. And it's great to see where the B-League has got to where it is today.
It really is. And Kiefer Ravenna, let's see how his career continues to develop. She got married last year, didn't he?
I believe that's correct, yeah.
The life is good. Get to play in the All-Star game. And now he is here enjoying life, especially in Japan, and playing for Lassie Tuobi, the head coach, Hokkaido, and the Finland national team head coach. So I don't know. Have you met Kiefer Ravenna's dad, Bong Ravenna?
His father, Jeff. I've not met Bong Ravenna. I've met everyone else in the Ravenna family. Also, I haven't met 30, but they are a basketball family. His father is a PBA legend. So, like I said, there's a big legacy for both 30 and Kiefer to live up to. I would say very respectfully, they've done a great job at both of them, both 30 and Kiefer. They've been great ambassadors for the PBA in the Philippines here in the B-League, but they're a great family. You can see what the game of basketball means to them. But as you said, they're one of the I guess, the kind of players that young players can look up to. They're very, very good people.
And his sister actually plays volleyball, doesn't she? So it's a real sporting family. And the apples have not fallen far from the tree, so to speak. You have the edge if your parents can bring you along the right way, and you can get that inspiration. Okay, so Josh, you and I are going to take a break for about 10 minutes, and we're going to let all the viewers nip off to the kitchen to get a cup of coffee, a hot tea, something cold to drink, maybe fried some eggs and bacon, make some sushi since we're doing Japan game and Japan All-Star game. And we'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned, folks.
来場の皆様へお願いです。To those in attendance today, attention please. 館内は禁煙です。喫煙は指定の場所でお願いします。Smoking is not permitted in the building. Smoking is allowed only in designated areas. 携帯電話はマナーモードに設定、もしくは電源をお切りください。Please turn off your cell phones or set them to silent mode. フラッシュを使用しての写真撮影は禁止です。試合中の動画撮影は15秒以内をお守りください。また、一部動画および写真の配信されます。記念すべき第1回目の開催をぜひその目で見届けてください。全国詳細は B.LEAGUE 2026特設ウェブサイトにて検討となります。アプレスアリーナにお集まりの皆さん。
Well, welcome back, folks. It's the B.LEAGUE All-Star Asia Cross Tournament 2026, and we're getting ready for the third place game. Kyushu United against the Rising Stars. Kyushu United are falling to B2 selected in the first game. Asia All-Stars rather beating the Rising Stars in the second one. And that second game was the better of the two. And once again, I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Josh Bett. And Josh, as we look at the orange outfit on that fan, we're just having so much fun doing this game, aren't we?
Oh, it's always an honor. I say this every B.LEAGUE game. It's great to be able to cover this league and how well this country has progressed since forming the B.LEAGUE 10 seasons ago. But you're right, Jeff. I mean, all you have to do is look at every arena, whether it's this All-Star weekend, if it's any game in the B.LEAGUE, there's not an empty seat. Now, there's empty seats now because it's a midway break, but like I said, Japanese basketball have found the perfect model. They got a great TV deal. The arenas are never, ever empty. And each team has really built a solid fan base, and you can see that through the social media followings. But going back to the game we just saw, Jeff, I mean, I think we just saw the FIBA Asia couple of stars against the Rising Stars, and it was a three-point cookout. I'm looking forward to this next one. This next one should also be very exciting.
Yeah, it definitely should be. Japan, just a wonderful country. Obviously had so many big basketball events over the years, and the B.LEAGUE has
American dream, you move to the United States and you live the great life if you work hard, make good choices. I say that the same in international basketball about the B.LEAGUE. It's the Japanese hoops dream. And we saw many Nagasaki Velcro jerseys because we are in the Happiness Arena. Jeff, only 4 years ago, Nagasaki were in the bottom division of pro basketball in Japan. But of course, back-to-back promotions led them all the way here to the B.LEAGUE. And where are they now? They're the #1 team in the B.LEAGUE. So it's the dream for any player, fan, club. It's anyone's game because it's just such a big platform to work on here.
It really is. And also for coaches, don't forget, I mean, we've seen so many good coaches in this competition from both Japan and from abroad. People are like, oh, I want to go to Japan. And it's some take to it like a duck to water, and others, maybe the fit's not great. But one thing is for sure, that if you're a good young coach in Japan, you can try to find your way on, into a B.LEAGUE club and get an opportunity. And look at all the merchandising and everything around this competition, and it just shows you how big basketball is in Japan.
Well, you're right. And I think what the B.LEAGUE does a very good job of is finding the balance. Whether it's players, coaches, technical staff, you're going to find a very good balance between domestic Japanese players and support staff and coaches, as well as the imports coming in. You look at Nagasaki Velka, they have Maudi Maurer from Israel. They also have Paul Hanari as their assistant coach, the man from New Zealand. But you look at their back room staff, there's a lot of rising Japanese coaches like Wataru Kuchi, who we just seen in this All-Star game as well. And that's why I think they've got the blend right. And you only have to go back 10 years ago, Jeff, excuse me. The top leagues in East Asia, there was only 3 of them, I would say. The CBA, the KBL, and the PBA. Now we have a 4th one. And now it just becomes a contentious argument. Who is the better professional league in East Asia? I think I'll let the fans decide that question.
Absolutely, and thank you for calling me by your wife's name. I appreciate that, Josh. But anyway.
I apologize. I just went down halftime to make a cup of tea, and I thought, JJ, my bad.
Fans lining up and getting ready. Some good food, some noodles. you're eating some noodles while you're in Vietnam, aren't you?
What's your favorite Japanese food, Jeff?
Sushi.
I mean, that's the international favorite. Yeah, what kind of sushi? Hasumaki, nigiri, which one? Or would you like the sashimi?
Maki.
California maki, not a bad one. My favorite, and many Japanese people always call me a little bit strange for liking this, I like natto. So it's a tofu kind of tough, sort of sour flavor, but I tried it back in 2006 on my first trip to Japan. I went to see Niigata Albirex play in the former Basketball Japan League. Jeff, I love Japanese food. It's great.
Now, look at the B.LEAGUE Asian special quota for this season. And again, you can see how the B.LEAGUE is kind of, it's another strategy as well, that it's reaching out and making sure that it's touching different countries and growing the sport there. So it's very, I think, intelligent strategy.
Well, one of the countries that's really on the rise, Jeff, Mongolia in the East Asia region. Now, the national team didn't make it to the Asia Cup, unfortunately. We haven't seen them, and we won't see them in the World Cup qualifiers.
But great 3x3 as well there.
Great 3x3, but also great domestic teams as well, which we did see in BCL Asia. The Ulaanbaatar Broncos winning the bronze medal. Then they lost to Utsunami Abrex, the champions of the B-League, who would then go on to be the BCL Asia champions. But still, you look at some of the Southeast Asian countries as well. Indonesia, I still think, is a sleeping giant. They've got a magnificent domestic league. They've got a great fan base. And some of these other countries, Thailand as well, Vietnam with the VBA. Basketball in East Asia is definitely going to be a very big popular spot collectively in the next decade, I imagine. It's not only going to be the B-League, it's going to be all over.
It will be, but this is the shining light of Asia, or one of them definitely. 20-point knockout, just as a reminder. So in the third place game, we continue with this 20-point knockout, 10-minute countdown. Haven't made it to the full 10 minutes yet. Clock does not stop for free throws or subs. No timeouts. Substitutions are allowed during dead balls. And once we get to the final, obviously it'll change a little bit. But Kyushu United, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, really. But I think, in a way, that these guys want to come out and get a win today.
Well, they're competitive players. You got B-League champions in these two teams as well, and the likes of Kyushu United with Jack Cooley. But you're right. I think, though, it doesn't essentially have too much impact, but, you know, as a player, you want to grow your brand. What better way to do it here at the All-Star Weekend?
What better way for rising stars to captivate than with their handsome captain, Ren Kanichika, coming out leading the way. Takufu Nakamura, the step magician. Kudos to the person that's written these descriptions. The large point guard is expected to make a huge move, Hayato Wakugawa. And Sudo, who fighting Eagles, Nagoya, he of the big Queens fan. Had a good first game. Leon Watanabe led him in scoring. Proud brother Hugh watching on. Looking carrying the next generation.
And now, Rising Stars starting five.
And we'll get a little bit of a different starting five this time. So Harper will be in the starting five.
Number 3,
Well, they should have a very big impact for them, Jeff, because as you mentioned, if he plays a lot more minutes, they're going to be more successful.
Yeah, this guy's the limit.
Number 5, Tayo Motoda.
Well, they don't, you know, Tayo Motoda, they don't seem to be too depressed about their earlier loss. They're still having a good time, so that's a good sign. You talked about Asato Ogawa getting a chance to step up, and here's also Kano. We didn't get a chance to see one of his powerful dunks, so we're hoping that we're going to see a rim rocker from him, and also from Hasegawa, who unfortunately I think was the player that had the ball stolen from, wasn't he? He was bringing it up the floor. But anyway, he'll put that behind him and come out and make a big play.
Well, yeah, going back to Ogawa, Jeff, one coach who was quite big on him was John Patrick when he was coaching him at Chiba Jets. And any player that breaks into John Patrick's lineup, I will say that John Patrick is such a great international coach, you got to be tough as nails. But like I said, when you're playing behind the likes of Yuki Togashi, the first ever $1 million player in Japan, you got to find your opportunity elsewhere, and he's done that this season with Kyoto Hanaris.
Kota Yamamoto. Tomorrow's another day. Well, he's definitely right about that. He comes out. And I love this Karimata
Number 8, Ryo
with Nagasaki
Tadahara.
Velka, 37 years old, but he plays like he's 27. He's so healthy, strong, fast, all around with a strong
Number
physique.
13,
Subtle
Ryo
arm. They're
Abe.
probably in the weight room after this. Ryo Abe, father of 3.
Number 18, Soli
So we know that he didn't sleep very much last night. And then we've got
I joined that.
Number 23,
Anthony Gaines Jr., the high flyer, the number 23, the man that got the dunk, and if I'm not mistaken, was taken right out of the game after that. I was trying to figure that one out. Still haven't figured that one out.
Kyushu United.
Yeah, very interesting change very early on, but you know, probably will play a lot more in this game.
Number
And
7,
Nishikawa did hit a 3.
Nishikawa.
And Rising Zephyr Fukuoka,
Number 11,
34-year-old. Ko Kumagai, another Nagasaki Velki player. And I would say that he is quite elusive. He's quite fast. And so I guess that's a pretty accurate description. We didn't see anything close to what Stanley Johnson's been doing this season.
Number 25, Taiki Sumida.
Stanley Johnson's becoming the myth of the B-League. Like I said, anytime you draft in the NBA, that says a lot about your individual game. But still, sky is the limit for him and Nagasaki Velka.
He definitely does a lot of talking on the court. And then you got Jack Cooley selected for the USA national team last August. So got to play at the FIBA Americup. And, you know, you and I cover a lot of international basketball.
Kyushu United.
National team basketball. What a great honor. Whenever you get the call, you want to answer it.
B.LEAGUE also Asia Cross Tournament.
A lot of people like to call him Captain America, especially when he played with Team USA. And Speedy Smith was his teammate, and unfortunately they weren't able to win the gold at the Americup. And Jeff, people call him Captain America, but with his size and physique, he's more like a Thanos of the B-League. He's just simply indestructible.
Well, it's a distinctive bright, well, maybe not bright yellow, but yellow against blue, light blue. They're going to have their warm-ups. And Kanuchika, the captain for Nico Cornell's team, along with John Mark Harper, Taiyo Makoto, Makoto Nakamura, likes to knock him down. Masato Gawa, Hayato Wakugawa, Toyoshige Kano, Terrell Takatsudo, Leon Watanabe, and Higan Asagawa. I wonder how many brother combinations we have in Japan.
I think the most infamous one, that's a very good question, but it's got to be the Takeuchi brothers. So Joji and Kosuke.
Yeah.
So you remember both of them, Jeff, back as early as the 2006 FIBA World Championship in Saitama, Japan. But interesting about those two brothers, they're the only two brothers, I think, that have won a continental championship in both the BCL Asia, when it was formerly known as the FIBA Asia Champions Cup. And in both their victories, they defeated Lebanon's #1 team, Al Riyadi. So it's a good question, but I don't think any combo comes close to the Takeuchi brothers.
選手に話を伺います。よろしくお願いします。英語も話しますけど、English or Japanese? Japanese。ジャパニーズでということですね。表記身長206センチですけど、前お会いした時は実際測ってみたら207センチでした。もっと高く見えますが、今身長何センチですか実際？
今は伸びて209センチになりました。
本当に？
はい。
209センチ。でも表記は変えないんです。
変えないですね。このままいきたいと思います。
わかりました。まあオールスターウィーケンドどれだけ楽しんでますか？
まあめちゃめちゃ楽しいですね。はい。結構重加点やらせてもらってます。はい。
先ほどハーパージュニア選手がお約束事で加野選手がスリーポイントをアテンプトしてくれると言っていました。ありませんでしたね、そういう機会が。
この試合で打ちたいと思います。
そもそもインサイドにいますよね。だからどうやってそのポップアウトをしなきゃいけないってことですか？ピックアンドポップとか。
ピックアンドポップして、ボールもらって打ち切りたいと思います。
真面目なことを聞きたいですが、B3、B2、B1 と毎年レベルアップしていますが、そのあたりそのご自身の手応えとして、そしてどういうものを学んでますか？
そうですね。レベルが上がるにつれて周りの選手のレベルもめちゃめちゃ上がっていくんで、その中でも生き残るように頑張っていきたいなと思ってます。
ホーキンソン選手にはどんなことを学んでますか？
もうフローターからのタイミング、細かいことをいろいろ全部学んでますね。
日本バスケを背負うというふうにも言われるような存在だと思うんですよね。文字通り日本人ビッグマンとして209センチのビッグマンとしてそういう責任感って感じてプレーしてますか？
そうですね、もう国を背負ってるってことなんで、責任を感じながら、はい、プレーしたいと思います。はい、
ありました。じゃあ次の試合に向けての意気込みをお願いします。
3決めれるように頑張ります。よろしくお願いします。
はい、加野豊重選手でした。ありがとうございました。
Now I'm going to give a loose prediction here, Josh, but it does make sense. If you think about Kano being he of the high flyers who like to play above the rim, and the fact that his teammate in Sunrocker Shibuya, John Lawrence Harper Jr. is his teammate here, we might get a lob from Harper to Kano to get it done.
Well, that would definitely be a special and satisfying occasion for all the fans who've made the journey here to the Happiness Arena. But I think you said it very well. You watched them play for Sunrock Shibuya, a team, Jeff, that we both know hasn't really fulfilled expectations in the B-League the last couple of seasons. But if that's something they can put on tonight, yep, the fans will be happy with that.
So just as a reminder, the All-Star Asia Cross Tournament 4-team battle, Asia All-Stars, Rising Stars, B2 selected in Kyushu United. And Kyushu United selected from the B-League clubs in the Kyushu Okinawa region. So kind of self-explanatory. Kanachika, again, the captain. Hasegawa there. Harper, Makoto, Nakamura, Gawa, Wakugawa, Kano, Sudo, and Watanabe all playing for Coach Zico Coronel, who I know that you're really impressed with the job that Zico Coronel has done since taking over for the late Kevin Braswell, his good friend, in fact. And I know that when we spoke to him at the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, it was the first thing that he talked about was he just didn't talk about basketball. He talked about Coach Braswell, his family, and really quite. Imagine being on the bench with your best friend or one of your best friends, and then that happens, and you have to take over. And he's really handled the whole situation well, and I think as a club as well. We remember watching them. They had their games, and they had Braswell's, a photo of him just on one of the seats, always there with them every step of the way. So I'm sure that he's looking down from heaven, smiling as the Rex team does him some honor.
And I think, Jeff, another thing that was very touching, I remember meeting Zico in Dubai for the BCL Asia, but it was the second time when we both saw him in Singapore. And he told us as soon as they'd won BCL Asia, he went right back to New Zealand. He visited Kevin Braswell's family, and I think that was very touching. I think it showed you just how close those two were. And you're absolutely right. Rest in peace, Kevin Braswell, the late great legend, looking down and probably, smiling to see, what a fantastic job that his friend is continuing from his great work.
By the way, Kano.
はい、スタンリー・ジョンソン選手に話を伺います。こんにちは。ジャパニーズ getting
a little better, like day by day.
少しずつ日々、日本が良くなっているということですけど、How much fun are you having during this All-Star weekend?
Man, I'm having a lot of fun. I mean, it's a really good league that we're in. We have a lot of special talent, so being able to start the weekend off with a good cross tournament, beating some of the guys in around the league that I respect and are playing great this season. And also having it in Nagasaki is awesome. I think our fans have came out all season, and to host the league here, it's an honor for all of us, and I'm proud to be playing in it.
このアジアクロストーナメントに出られるということがすごく光栄ですし、すごく楽しいと、普段戦う相手と一緒に力を合わせられるということがすごく嬉しいですし、あと長崎の素晴らしいファンの皆さんの前でこうやって恩返しができるというのはすごく嬉しいですと。How much are you enjoying playing in Japan in the B-League?
I'm enjoying it. I think here at Velka, they do a great job of making it comfortable, and the stuff we're doing in preseason and the way the games are going so far, I've really enjoyed myself, the process. We still have a long way to go in the season, and I look forward to figuring it out. And I think the all season's been that.
あとベルカに来られてすごく嬉しいですし、日本でプレーできることがすごく光栄ですし嬉しい。シーズンの前からベルカでの本当これまでここに至るまでの過程ということを大事にして戦ってきて、もちろんまだまだこれからなんですけど、とてもいいシーズンをここまで送ることができています。You played in the States, obviously, in the NBA, G League, and Turkey. How do you compare B-League basketball to the different leagues?
I mean, I think the only difference is the amount of imports you can play in EuroLeague, and obviously NBA is no restrictions. But when it talks about tactics and how the league is ran, competitiveness on a daily basis, the competitive level is higher than I expected coming here. But it's a great pleasure for me as an athlete. I always want to play against the best players, and I prepare myself in the off season for a tough season, so I'm proud to be in a league like this.
あと日本のプレーについては、本当に他のリーグ NBA だったり G リーグヨーロッパのリーグと何が違いが大きいかっていうのは本当にもうインポートのそのオンザコートルールが一番の違いだと、あとは本当にレベルが高くてこんなレベルの高いリーグでプレーできることは非常に嬉しいですと言っています。Thank you so much. Have a great game.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know, talking about players, you know, brothers. Well, actually, you know, Johnson, his mother played the game at very high level. Played at Jackson State, played in Europe, and the United team, Yamamoto, Karimata, Nagasaki Velka, Nishikawa, Sawahara, Kumagai. So with Nagasaki, Abe, Stanley Johnson, Nagasaki Velka, Sori Lucio, Anthony Gaines Jr., Taiki Sumida, Jack Cooley. And I didn't know that Stanley Johnson also had played for the USA youth teams and was the captain of the 2014 team and the MVP of the 2014 FIBA Americas Under-18 Championship. So that was good. It's interesting also just talking about coming here, his experience.
Well, Jeff, he is potentially playing for an MVP award this season in the B-League. He's averaging 22 points, but look at his last 5 games in Nagasaki. He's been on fire. I mean, they've been 4 and 5 in the last 5, but Jeff, he's averaged 28 points in the last 5 games. And 2 of those games, he's flirted near a triple-double. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him leave this season with the Most Valuable Player award.
Well, he might go down as the revelation of the season or the signing of the season, as well as the MVP. Obviously, a lot has to perhaps go right the rest of the way. It's going to be competitive. You got Nishikawa, Kumagai, Johnson, Sumida, and Cooley. And you talk about Nagasaki Velka and how, you know, how much success they're having. I mean, they're leading from last season in terms of quality, in terms of everything. Has just been stunning. And again, it's you know, to be able to add as an assistant coach Paul Hennard, who was already a great coach at Shamani Susanoo Magic, in my opinion, and the former New Zealand national team coach. They just got quality everywhere. They got quality lineup, quality coaches, quality club, and I think the opportunity is there for them this season to perhaps to go all the way.
Yeah, they probably could very well do so, but you know, Jeff, as we've seen a lot of teams. San Antonio Phoenix was the classic case in the last 2 years. We've seen these teams come out of nowhere, you know, where they haven't been playoff hopefuls to now becoming potential championship contenders. But those who watch the B-League know that when it comes to the postseason, that's when the teams, like the Chiba Jets, you know, the Utsunami Abraxas, and the Rookie Golden Kings, they've always seemed to have an edge on the new upcoming rising teams. That's not to say that Nagasaki is going to fall in the postseason, but I've seen it too many years. These teams have great regular seasons, and then they always go out in the first round, but it could be different this year.
There's the head coach, Zika Coronel. You can kind of see him. See Wada, Yamaguchi, and Maeda, the referees for this game. Every time I see Cornell, I think of our friend Chuck Schreiner, who worked with us and got the interview. Zika Cornell is the Championship. I know they also well. And again, we looked at the 20-point knockout, the 10-minute countdown. The clock does not stop for free throws, substitutions, no timeouts, substitutions allowed during dead balls. No tie to regulation. The game continues. First to score wins and sudden death. And we'll talk more about the final, but you can see it's already a 30-point knockout in limited time, so it's a much different game.
Well, this should be a good matchup, I think. You know, you got the rising stars against your veterans of Kyushu, but knowing Zico Coronel, Coach Jeff, like we do, very well much he is going to go into this game with a very, I would say, a more eager, more determined approach from his players.
Yeah, if he were to give some comments about this game, what do you think he would say? As we look at the starting fives of those teams.
Well, you look at those starting fives, I mean, it's a talented matchup, but going back to your question, Well, I think Zico Coronel probably would be relieved that it wouldn't be any pressure to his schedule or his players with Usami and Breck. So I think if we were there right now with Zico, he would very much be enjoying the occasion.
I think he'd look us both straight in the eye and say, we're out here to have some fun today. Let's go. That's the main thing. So, Jack Cooley, the opportunity to go up against Kano, and you don't appreciate how big Kano is until you see him out there against Cooley, but then you don't appreciate how high Jack Cooley can jump until you see that. He definitely won that, but he tapped it to the Rising Stars. So Rising Stars starting things off and somehow fashioning an opportunity to go to the line was Matoda. He kind of jumped and fell back into Stanley Johnson. What's this? No, it was a clear foul. Stanley Johnson got a little too close, did a little bit of a wrap, and now Matoda misses the free throw.
Starting to wonder, did Matoda may have got away with an offensive foul on the push-off, but again, we do see that often in the B-League. The backcourt can be very, very physical.
Josh, you got to give me your opinion. You think that sports people, especially shooters that are left-handed shooters, look better?
Well, I don't want to answer that question because I was a left-handed shooter until I broke my hand when I was a kid and had to become a right-handed shooter.
That explains a lot, Josh. There's a three that's no good. Okay, Harper, remember my prediction, a lob to Kano, but after that, I don't think it's going to be, because he talked about shooting threes, and there he is putting up the threes. So I think Kano is probably more interested in getting up the threes than dunking it.
You're going to see a lot more tired legs now, Jeff.
Driving in and scoring, Hasegawa. Stanley Johnson trying to bring the house down, and Cooley there to clean up the mess.
Well, you asked the question, are we going to see a half-court three-pointer? There's one of them.
Stanley Johnson he doesn't really have any range, so even though it might be half-court, I think he can comfortably make that. Here's Hasegawa. Well, Hasegawa has shown us something, hasn't he?
Well, I think he's trying to make amends for the turnover in the first game, but you're right, he is showing a lot of skills in the Arsenal toolkit.
Ishikawa missing. Well, just like in their first game, Rising Stars getting some threes to go. Just to say that they missed one. Here's the lob, and Stanley Johnson decides just to go old school alley-oop. And we hear the buzzer, so I think we might have some substitutions coming from both teams.
Just wondering whether he deliberately didn't want to connect with that with a dunk just to keep the fans, I don't know, on their edges, but we may have caught that at a tough angle.
Anaheim, California. Stanley Johnson, Hasegawa. Not shy about getting him up. This is that one. I guess if he just makes one, you got to give him that one. But here's another three. This one off target from Karimata. Odi Mayor must be watching these games with interest. Doesn't want any of these guys to get injured. Here is Harper. He's just got some game, doesn't he?
Jeff, that was tough. He had to hang in the air, find the separation, and still manages to get what I call a negative parabola on that arc. That was high.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Josh. If you could take any player from this Rising Stars team and put them on your team, which one would it be? And not considering you might have certain needs. That was Richo with the bucket.
That's a tough question, Jeff. But if I'm honest with you, I'd probably go with Takuta Nakamura.
Okay. That's a good one. I set you up to take Harper and you didn't take him. Here's the three-pointer.
You make a good point there, Jeff, but the thing with Nakamura is he helped Dragonflies win a B-League championship and a B-League BCL bronze medal game against Portugal.
Yeah, that's good sound reasoning. Gaines, thought we were going to see one throwing down, and Karimata playing here at home. This is that one, gets it up again. Gaines is like, if the first you don't succeed, try again. No, And this time they take the layup, so Tornament does get on the scoreboard. Little 7-year-old. Oh my goodness! Pseudo showing some hops. Uh-oh, talk about hops! A windmill!
Jeff, I think Gaines may have heard you very quickly and decided to what we call in the UK, he became 11 Arife. He decided to one-up on what we just saw from Pseudo. My word, did he just turn the wind mines here in Nagasaki.
He's got a little Dutchman in it. So what was that you said in the UK? Here's Pseudo again. Oh my, it's turning into a dunking contest.
They got to go back to Gaines now, Jeff. He's cut out 11 Arife. Here we go.
Oh my! It is little wonder that this man won the dunking contest. He can do it all. 360. And Pseudo. And elects not to challenge Gaines again. So let's see. I think the crowd wants some more Gaines, but they're going to get a 3 attempt. But they're going to get Gaines again. 3 consecutive dunks.
11 Arife, Jeff. Remember that. He one-upped every Pseudo dunk. Pseudo went in like 10 Arife. Spectacular dunk. And then Gaines decided to one-up everything.
No pain, no gains. Here is an over-the-shoulder pass outside. And missing was Tobin. Not too late for Tobin to make an impact in this game. Uh-oh, bounce pass to Cooley. Two-handed jam for the captain.
Well, we know he's got the bunnies as well, Jeff, but he's not renowned for being a big-time dunker when he plays for the Golden Kings.
Stanley Johnson from a long way out.
I'm sure he's practiced that numerous times. This is his home court, but Jeff, quite a competitive game between these two teams.
Well, bringing it, shooting it, missing it, and now United. And a three-point shot off target again from Masuda. 16-14, Rising Stars can take the lead if they knock down a 3. Oh, and Masuda passes the ball into row H. Karimata knocks down a 3.
What's the old saying, Jeff? Age is just a number. As my old man would say, if you can shoot the ball, that will last your entire career.
And there he is. He gets the dunk, but not from the feed from Harper. Or not a lob, rather. There's Stanley Johnson. Definitely trying to make that happen. It seems like he's going further and further away. Three-point shot. Here comes Pseudo again. Oh. Rising Stars. I think we know what the fans want. They want some dunks. But this is going to tie it if it goes in, but it does not. Is this going to be the moment when Kyushu United win the third-place game? Stanley Johnson is not shy about trying. Here's Harper. They didn't have to go. Remember, the first team to 20 wins it. Cooley. Oh, we talked about it. He does it. Jack Cooley with the 3. A fitting shot for number 45.
Last time I saw Jack Cooley make a three-pointer, Jeff, was in 2023 against Saga Ballooners in Okinawa. And now he's just won the third place for Kyushu Select. What a 3 by the Coolmeister.
Kyushu United win it 22-16 to finish third. Rising Stars getting a rise out of the fans with some spectacular play. But they come in fourth. And just definitely with the Rising Stars out there, and also Gaines, Anthony Gaines Jr. That is entertainment, must-see entertainment.
I don't know what would have been more exciting to see that three-point as we just saw from Jack Cooley, to see one of those half-court three-point attempts. Well, we saw 4 of those, Jeff, and I think you're right. Every time Stanley Johnson took another one, it was almost like he was a step back, or at least 2 steps back from his previous spot.
Josh, what do you think Zico Chrono could have done differently? I'm just kidding. I'm not sure how much coaching was going on out there. I think the coaches were out there and just let the players do what they want to do.
Jeff, I highly recommend you pose that same question to our good friend Chuck Schreiner.
Well, I think Chuck should ask Zico what he was thinking about. Here is... Okay, so we're going to have some comments here.
インタビューはアンソニー・ゲインズ・ジュニア選手にお話を伺いたいと思います。
Anthony Gaines Jr. He had 3 straight dunks, didn't he? I was surprised. I think he was ready for a 4th consecutive dunk, but they didn't give him the ball back.
この雰囲気について一言いただきたいと思います。アンソニー、how do you enjoy this All-Star weekend? How do you enjoy this atmosphere in Nagasaki?
It's a great atmosphere. I'm enjoying being around all these great players for All-Star weekend, so I'm just happy to be here.
非常に素晴らしい雰囲気で楽しんでますし、オールスターのメンバーたちと一緒にやれることも非常に、嬉しく楽しんでいます。そして試合中、一足早く我々ダンクコンテストを目撃したような感じだったんですけども、その点についてちょっと一言聞きたいと思います。We feel like a little bit early dunk contest, and how do you feel about that?
I guess it was a good warm-up. I know he's going to be in a dunk contest, great athlete, so I guess we have a show for you guys tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure you guys will be happy with tomorrow's show, for sure.
グレートアスリートがいて、一緒にダンクを競い合ったことで、須藤選手もそうですけども、競い合ったことで、グレートウォーミングアップになった、明日のための素晴らしいウォーミングアップになったんじゃないかなというふうに、そして明日のダンクコンテストにも期待してくださいというメッセージをいただきました。ありがとうございます。Thank you, Anthony Gaines Jr.
Anthony Gaines Jr. in his 2nd season with Kagoshima,
さあというわけで先ほどの
Red
サード
Nice,
クイズゲームの結果をもちまして
and
第3位は
certainly
九
taken
州
over
ユ
Japan
ナ
by
イテ
storm with his
ッ
dunking
ド
ability. He was
そしてライジングスタンスにも大きな拍手をお願いします
I'll tell you what. I mean, he just gets
そ
it
れでは
done.
このよう
Look
に
at
選
his
手が
numbers.
コートを
18,
一周
almost
いたします
19 points per game,
改め
8
て
rebounds
素
per
晴ら
game,
しい試合
4.1
を見せ
assists
て
per
くれ
game
た両
this
チー
season.
ム
He is
大
an
きな
absolute
拍手を
stud.
お送りください
This is one of those players, after leaving Louisiana, went to play in the Canadian NBL, and very briefly, I think he was in Finland, but since now in his 2nd season in the B2, you're right, he's just been an all-around player, but predominantly, as we've seen in this game, Jeff, he's good in the open floor and he runs down the middle like a trailer. He's not a great rebounder as well, nearly getting a double-double, but he's probably a talent we should be seeing in the B-League for sure.
Clearly a lot of applause for Jack Cooley, who hit that 3-pointer. Interesting to see if he tries to go to that weapon when he goes back to Ryukyu Golden Kings.
I think the other interesting fact is, Jeff, I always say this with the Golden Kings. They play B-League, they play East Asia Super League. They probably have had the busiest schedule, just like Utsunomiya Brexit. But I say they played more games in the last 4 seasons than any other Japanese team. Can they mount another form to get into the playoffs and get back to the Yokohama Arena? If they're to do that, Jeff, something must be going on in Okinawa about the lifestyle that keeps this team so fresh. They're always injury-free, and they always seem to get back to the finals.
This will definitely be a testing season for them. We'll see. So many competitive teams going for those playoff spots that it looks like if you want to be a serious contender, you cannot lose. That's kind of the pressure that's building in the B-League right now. And getting ready for the main event, the final.
All-Star Asia Cross Tournament 2026 Final! Now please welcome Asia All-Stars! Number 5, Lee Shang-Chun! Number 6, Yuan Zheng. Number 9, Sergio Eldawish.
Well, hello everybody. We are ready for the
Number
final
15,
here
Kimbo
of this great day. Bringing you all the action from Japan. It's going to be a 30-minute game. The Asia All-Stars being introduced here to the crowd. And they will be taking on the B2
Asia All-Stars starting five!
All-Stars, Asia All-Stars rather.
Number
winning against
0,
the Rising Stars in the
UICHE!
semifinal. So, UICHE
Number 1, White Paul Junior!
And he does have a wonderful smile.
Number 2, Dwight
Ramos.
Ramos!
Wanda Hokkaido taking his game to new heights.
Number
this
34,
year. AJ Edu as well, another key last man. We got several in this Asia All-Stars team. Duma Crane Thunder's
And number 99,
26-year-old.
Omar
And you can see
Jamaluddin!
he really makes a difference with his rim protection. And Omar Jamaluddin, who was very active in that first game, attacking the basket. So once again, folks, I'm Jeff Taylor and Josh Bett joining me. And Josh, we are excited about this final coming up, and to see how this Asia All-Star team plays against what was perhaps a surprising B2 selected team.
Well, Jeff, great to be back here for the final game in this All-Star Week 1 in this four-way tournament. But you're absolutely right. I think we anticipated Kyushu would be here in the final. But, I think everybody now needs to take notice. B2 players, well, they have a point to prove, and maybe the pressure will be against the Asia import All-Stars.
That's a great point. This team, in a way, B2 selected playing with house money if you didn't think that they were going to make it to this stage. And they came out as loose as a goose, relaxed. Look at that. Stuffed animals, you name it, they've got it. Kasuke Masuda bringing it out as well as Sai. He'll go with Sai.
Number 24, Marcus Kaiju
And then look at that. He just did another Ric Flair on us.
I was about to say, the Ric Flair factor just came out. He is going to be remembered throughout his entire career with that infamous, I don't know, if it must have a name for it in Japanese. I love that.
Selected starting five.
So the starting five for the B2 select.
Number 3,
Michael Parker. 44 years young, the Iron Man, playing in Japan rather since 2008. Alan Hachimura. I think you know his older brother Rui. Plays for the Lakers. And Yo Nagano, who hit the three, which I think was the shot that lit the touch paper in that first game, because they all started making it after that, including one from this guy, James Bell.
And number 24,
Yamagata got a good one in the 34-year-old. And then you got the captain, Yu Watanabe, the big man from Oahu, Hawaii.
Well, Jeff, you made a good point there, because it was James Bell that did make those two early back-to-back three-pointers, which I felt set the two teams apart against Kyushu. But interesting, I said James Bell had a Continental Championship when he played for David Blatt at Darashafka. He also won one with Anvel Wacławik in Poland, so he comes with quite a lot of experience to his CV to the B-League.
Josh, we saw that if you go back and watch the replay, that moment right there, Hogan is just taken a little by storm. He was doing like a little robotic dance.
I think right now, Jeff, B-League's English social media page, especially the IG, want to get that down and call that the Ric Flair moment. There's got to be a name for the Japanese. You got to love it every time he does that little woo, the little cheer moment.
I just wonder if he even knows who Ric Flair is. I would assume he does. There's Lee Hyun-jung, who I don't think he's feeling well, and I think that's why they're not taking any chances. But again, you look at the roster, the smiling Bobby Ray Parks Jr., Dwight Ramos, Lee Hyun-jung. I'm not sure he's going to play. Yang Jae-min, Sergio El Darwish, Kiefer Ravena, AJ Edu, and Omar Jamaluddin. I like saying that last name, don't you? Omar Jamaluddin.
That's beautiful. Like I said, he's having quite a good year here with Kawasaki, but yeah, it's probably one of my favorite names.
You know who I think of whenever I see Kiefer Ravena?
Who's that?
Kiefer Sutherland. The actor. You, Tony Robbins, AJ Edu, and Omar Jamaluddin. 24. I mean, do you think that Kiefer Sutherland could have starred in 24 the way that Kiefer Ravena, could have starred in 24 the way Kiefer Sutherland did?
Well, I guess
did you ever watch that?
I did, yes, I did watch that actually. So now you've got me thinking. Now my mind is distracted.
It's not often that you hear the name Kiefer. Anyway, it'd be interesting to find out who he was named after.
We should get those two on an interview together.
Well, Darwish was relatively quiet in the first game. It could be that he's going to come out and have a big eruption in this second game.
Hi, Omar Jamaluddin 選手に話を伺います。Hello, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Sure, absolutely. How much fun are you having?
A lot of fun. It's my first time here, and I'm just happy to be in front of the fans.
こういうオールスターの経験初めてなので、ファンの皆さんの前でプレーできること本当に楽しいですね。How big is it that Lebanon now is represented as an Asia slot in Japan?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, me and Sergio are trying to do our best to bring a good light to Lebanon and our players. So I think we're doing a good job so far.
レバノンにもたくさんの素晴らしい選手がいるので、セルジオ・エルダーウィッチ選手、そして私含め、レバノンがアジア枠の一部と一環となったというのはすごくやはりレバノンという国、レバノンのバスケに大きなことですね。You also take a lot of pride on defense. Talk about how big defense is for you and why that's important.
I think it's the biggest part of the game that you can control, So if you give your effort on defense, hopefully it leads to offense and you win basketball games.
ディフェンスに対する意識についてはやはりそのディフェンスからバスケっていうのは始まるので、ディフェンスからオフェンスに切り替えていく、そういうことが大事だと思うので、その意識を高く持ってプレーしています。Thank you so much. Have a great game.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, Josh, as we got to listen to Omar there, you know where he's from, right? He plays for Lebanon, but you know where he's from? He's from New York. Did you hear that New York accent? Although it's Middle Village, New York.
I think I could pick up a little bit of it, of course, but yeah, I think I did know he was from the U.S., but
I think he must be one of the best players ever to have played at Sarah Lawrence, the Griffins.
Well, now I'm wondering if he's a Mets fan or if he's a Yankees fan.
That is a very good question.
We'll have to ask him, won't we?
or a Nets fan, or a Knicks fan, or a Jets fan, or a Giants fan.
I think we could eliminate he's not a Boston Red Sox fan.
But you never know. Could be a Braves fan. But certainly there are a lot of fans of Omar Jamaluddin who really is an exciting player to watch. Just like AJ Edu. Okay, so out of all the skills that you see in AJ Edu, what gets you most excited about him as a pro player?
I've always said this. Go back to the 2023 Basketball World Cup. It was one Karl Anthony Towns who said the defense in that opening game at the FIBA World Cup from AJ Edu made Cat a better international player. Now, defense isn't something you're going to look out for in a All-Star game, of course. But I think one thing you're going to look from him is running the floor, and you're probably going to get a little moment where he's going to have a break and have an open dunk.
Your Japanese is perfect now.
A little bit, it's good, it's good.
日本語まだまだというところですけど、So you're 44. I mean, man, how do you do it, man?
I don't know. It's just natural to me. I don't feel older. I feel good, so I just keep playing.
44歳にはなりましたけど、でも本当体の状態もいいし、いやもう本当なんでまだこんな長く続けられるかって自分でもちょっとそこは説明できないんだけど、全く問題がないということですね。It's your 18th season in Japan. So during that time, what do you think about the growth of basketball in Japan?
Oh, it's amazing. It started out so small and kind of like secondary, and it grew into this B.LEAGUE that's amazing. And then next year with the Premier, it'll be even bigger.
あと、日本では18年目となるマイケル・パーカー選手なんですが、初めは、そんなに大きなリーグでなかったものが、いずれ B リーグが誕生して、そしてレベルがどんどん上がって、そしていよいよ来年からプレミアというものがあるので、すごく楽しみですねと。And how do you enjoy playing with your teammates? Some of them who are not maybe quite half your age, but still a lot of young guys.
Yeah, it was rough watching the young stars. Some of them were actually born after I started playing professional, so that was kind of crazy to see. And the guys on my team, it's all good, B2, so we play together.
このトーナメントでは若い選手たくさんとプレーができていて、そしてライジングスターの選手では実は自分がプロ生活を始めた、頃にはまだ生まれてなかった選手たちがプレーしていたっていうのを見てちょっと衝撃を受けたけど、でもすごくやはりこの大会で、プレーできることは嬉しく思っています。Have a great game. Hope you win the championship.
ありがとうございます。Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Josh. So Michael Parker, I give him a lot of props. He was kind of laughing because he understood fully that a lot of the interest in him is the fact that he's still playing at 44 years of age. And I thought he answered it really well. But what's interesting to me is that he started out at Pierce College back in the day, back in the 1999. That's going way back, isn't it? And then he went to Evergreen State. So what a perfect place to go, Evergreen, because he is an evergreen. He's young forever. He's always green.
I mean, Jeff, you want to talk about his age there, of course. I mean, age is just a number, but when he started his college career, Jeff, I was a 4th grader in elementary school. You were probably calling some FIBA World Championship, I think, in Greece. Am I correct, or was that 1998?
Yeah, so my first FIBA tournament, 1997, Eurobasket in Barcelona. Hey, look at that, Tsukasa Nakano in this B2 select team. Let's watch him because he is exciting, and I think perhaps a nickname for him would be Tsukasa as Mikasa. So Michael Parker, Alan Hachimura, Yo Nagano, James Bell, and Yu Watanabe. Michael Parker, center of attention. And it does illustrate that if you look after yourself, you can play a long time.
I think that's down to the lifestyle here in Japan. I think the teams all have very extensive backroom stuff. I mean, look, each team, it's not just head coach and 3 to 4 assistant coaches. You've got an entire backroom staff that makes up a dozen people. So, no doubt for sure, these players, they take care of themselves very well, but they've got great staff around them that help them with everything. Nutrition, diet, sleep, so no surprise to see a lot of careers progress very long in the B-League.
This age, really, I've always understood that basketball is a game that you can play for a very long time, but once you stop playing, then it's really hard to come back. Certainly it's hard to come back at the same level, but as long as you keep playing and you keep looking after yourself. And, one of the biggest stars ever to play in Japan, well, at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2006, Argentina, was Luis Scola. He played forever for Argentina.
Well, Jeff, I think in a post-game interview or the press conference I had with Luis Scola, I mentioned him about being the leader of the team at such a great age. I don't think he wanted me to remind him of his age, but you're absolutely right. Luis Scola is the foundation of players who, they prolong their careers and play at a very, at a very good standard at the age they're at. Anything is still possible, and I even think you can account that to LeBron James with the LA Lakers currently.
So again, this is going to be a 30-point knockout. So unlike the other 3 games, unlimited time, unlike the other games, 2 timeouts per team, and substitutions allowed during dead balls. So unlimited time. So you got to get to 30. So if we have a game, Josh, where these guys really struggle and don't score, we could be here for a long time, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, Jeff, I'm going to say this now. I'm going to predict, and I never do this. Well, I may have done this once or twice, but I don't usually do this. This has got to be a game for the East Asia import quarter players, and West Asia for that matter, because you look at the talent that they have in their team. And the reason I've been so big on them this year is that it's not just East Asia, you got West Asia. You have Sergio El Darwish, and as we've already seen, Omar Jamaluddin as well. It's a team packed with talent. And as I said before, you look at the team they have, any of those players could be a first team or a second team at a FIBA Asia Cup.
Hey Josh, by the way, Michael Parker can go for a lot longer. Unfortunately, it looks like Lee is not going to be playing. Wataru Buchi, the head coach of Asia All-Stars. So basically, you see Masato Fukushima, the head coach of the B2 selected. Abdul Mohsen Khalaf Al Muwallad of Saudi Arabia was verified at 51 years of age. 51, 335 days old when he played. So Wada, Yamaguchi, and Maeda, the referees for this game. So basically, Parker's got a good another, I would say, 5, 6, 7 years if he wants it.
And I'm just reading a comment from one of the fans watching live saying in Lebanon, there's a current player, Ismail Ahmad, 50 years old, trying to break the Guinness World Record.
Which is held by the guy that I was just telling you about.
That's correct, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. More on that in a minute. Michael Parker, Watanabe, Bell, Hachimura, and Nagano, the B2 selected starting 5. You, Badri Park, Dwight Ramos, Omar Jamaluddin, and AJ Odu in the Asian All-Stars. So 3 Gilas players, 3 Philippines internationals, also a Lebanese international in the Asian All-Star, starting 5.
Jeff, I have to admit something very bad. I am the most unintelligent person in the world. I know Ismail Ahmad. He plays for Al Riyadi. How bad am I?
Well, it's understandable. Once you start having kids, Josh, forget things. We are underway here, the final. And coming right out in the B2 select, get the offensive rebound from Michael Parker. Just doing Michael Parker things and puts his team in front here in the final of the B-League Asia Cross Tournament. Omar Jamaluddin just seems to have an extra step on everybody. He just a little bit quicker, a little bit more bounce in his step. Oh my goodness. Coming out and smoking hot, James Bell. Hello, three-point shooting contest.
Picking up right where he left off in the first game.
Meanwhile, Omar Jamaluddin perhaps launching his bid for the MVP award, the way he's playing.
Growing in confidence every time he takes another shot, Jeff.
But look at that, the answer for the B2 selected, Nagano. Well, he's hit big shots, go-ahead shots in both games now. Jamaluddin with the rebound, sends the pass up to the top to Dwight Ramos, and he knocks down the 3. Bottoms of the net.
Yeah, Jamaluddin looks like he really wants to win this game at the moment.
Watanabe catches it, passes back outside to Bell. That's a mistake leaving in open, but he does not make him pay this time. Bring it up the court, Ramos from the wing, and the Lubanga Hokkaido player missing it. Now Bell has it. James for who the bell tolls, and gets it over and missing it, Hachimura. With an offensive rebound, keeps this in. Pass to the corner, 3-point shot. And this time no offensive rebound for Parker. Instead, it's Dwight Ramos who brings the ball up the floor. AJ Edu. Oh my goodness. let's go back and revisit what does he bring to the team. We know he brings the shot blocking, but he also brings that perimeter game.
I don't think I've ever seen AJ Edu make a three-pointer. But I mean, he's had his inconsistencies from the free throw line, but that's not to say he's not a great player, but my word, he's probably telling his head coach, Kyle, listen, when I come back, got an extra step to my game.
Easy, Josh. You don't want to upset his family. They might not be asking you for dinner. Mikasa, Nagata, passing around. Tobin. Tobin can't stay out of the limelight.
And we saw the Ric Flair reaction after the three-pointer.
Jamal Adine missing it from a long way out. And there's the pass and the dunk from Tobin.
Woo! Little back and forth between Tobin and Jamal Adine. I love this.
And now the miss from Dwight Ramos, and it leads to an opportunity for Brakefield. And the pass goes back outside to the wing, and the B2 selected racing ahead. Keisuke Masuda joining the three-point shooting party, 16-11.
It may be an all-star game. The teams and players might be relaxed and comfortable and very loose, as you said earlier, Jeff. But I can tell you one thing. The B2 players are letting everybody know, hey, we might be not the top division of pro basketball here in Japan, but we still got game.
They are coming out with a real sense of purpose. Tobin, especially. Look at this, two-handed. Jamaroo.
Now, Jeff, remember the question you asked me from the Rising Stars of the B-League? I want you to ask me now for the East Asian quota players who would I take, because that's a tough one.
Okay, who would you take from the East Asian?
Well, you've got some great talent. You've got Dwight Ramos. You've got the likes of Kiefer Ravenna. You've also got Bobby Ray Parks Jr. and Lee Hyun-jung, who I said probably will be one of the greatest, if not the best, small forward in East Asian basketball history. But Jeff, if I'm honest with you, I got to go back to the summer of 2024 when Lebanon defeated Angola, and the player who led them in that game was Sergio El Dawish. Jeff, he's one of my favorite combo guards you're going to find in international basketball.
Yeah, he is absolutely electric. That is a good pick, Josh. And how about that? Coming right out of the timeout, Omar Jamaluddin goes to 7 points.
You went to Lebanon 2017 for the FIBA Asia Cup. Jeff, Lebanon, it's a paradise.
Worked with your father, in fact. And I'm sure he was singing my praises. Here's a shot from the wing.
As he always does.
Tobin. Now Tobin. This is now a two-horse race for me in terms of who's going to be the MVP if we're going on what we've seen so far. Now, look at that. The jam inside from Big Bad AJ Edu. Now maybe he's thrusting himself into contention as well. Tobin, this is his world and we're living in it. Goodness me, Marcus Taishu Tobin. You might want to retire after this game. It's not going to get any better. Unbelievable. And Omar Jamaluddin. Of course, I'm joking when I say that. Tobin raising eyebrows. His agent's going to be fielding a bunch of calls. 21-17. And Omar Jamaluddin as well.
He's such a tough player, Jamaluddin, to defend. He's got the size. You know, he can go both ways. He's got that perimeter threat, but quite a good. Great action we're seeing between Tobin and Jamaluddin leading the way so far here in this final.
Josh, we got a timeout, and again, one of the great things about basketball in Japan is the show, and it is a show. And I know, for example, if you look at the scoring leader for this game, Tobin with 10 points, that you are an aficionado when it comes to dancing. How do you rate this dancing?
Well, I've had the pleasure of seeing this up live in both Tochiki and at the Okinawa Arena in 2023. And it's more than just a dancer. They also bring cultural aspects. You know, you get to taste, and it's the beauty of international basketball. You get a taste of Japanese culture with the game we love. So everything, you know, from the traditions, from the cheerleaders, everything is just top of the, you know, the very best you're going to find.
Saw that Omar Jamaluddin, he might be doing his own dance after this if he keeps up. He's got 9 points for Tobin as well. Tobin is just he's playing above the rim. 21-17, remember, it's the first teams of 30. And a 3-point shot on target. The breather side reliever there on the All-Stars bench is not going to miss these. We got to get across midcourt. Oh, did he? I'm not sure. Jamaluddin gives it to the corner. And the rebound, Tobin. Brakefield gets it out to the wing. Not going to miss another one. Next time they need to go to Tobin. Here's Ravena. Oh, slick, but misses the shot. Great rebound, Brakefield. Passes up the floor. Not going to again. Much more like it. Boy, the Fukushima Fire Bomber.
It's his first season away from playing from Hokkaido Levenga, as you mentioned, with Fukushima Fire Bombs. But Jeff, big difference in the perimeter defense of both these two teams.
Turning this into his own little personal playground. Goes in! And it goes right at Tobin. Leaves his calling card.
Well, one man who's going to be happy watching him play like this, even though it's an all-star game, Lebanon's head coach, Ahmed Farhan. He's got a bona fide scorer on the table for him heading into the FIBA World Cup qualifying window.
They went 1-1 against Qatar. Although I think Jamaluddin did not play in that last window. It would have been a big absence. Here's Watanabe, thought about launching it, does not, hands it off to Bell. Bell's pass, tried to get inside, turned over. Ravena has it, pulls up on the break, and it was short. Bobby Ray skims the net. Oh, but excellent hustle, saving it in bounds. Ravena, keeper Ravena. And Jamaluddin, the beneficiary, he's got 13.
That's a big save, Jeff, because it's 2 possessions potentially for B2 Select to win this. 3 if you want to take this into the perimeter consideration. So still quite a competitive game.
Oh! Bell's pass intended for Parker, but Parker wasn't ready for it. Seen a couple of turnovers now, I think in a row by Bell. Previous trip down, trying to feed it inside. That's just with these guys not playing together a lot. 3-point shot, Bobby Ray Parks. Parker with the rebound. Another 3 and missing everything. Nagano. And Parks ties the game.
Now both teams, Jeff, 2 3-pointers away potentially from winning this game. What an impact we've had from both teams.
Gotta wonder if the B2 Selected had blown their chance, because they had all the momentum. They called the timeout, did the Asian All-Stars. They came out, they got the bucket from Jamaluddin, and since that point, all the momentum has been back with that team.
I think the momentum definitely shifted. The save that we saw, the hustle play that you mentioned by keeper Ravenna, because plays like that emotionally, they just keep you in the game, especially in a game like this, when it's all about a calm, relaxation sort of environment. But, you know, both teams don't want to win this, Jeff.
Piece, and remember, no time limit.
This one feels not quite like those early games so fast. This one feels more natural. Chance to adjust. Chance to put the brakes on runs, come out, make some switches. Okay, racing down the floor, they're going to get an open look, and they're going to get a three! The three-pointer. Hachimura, a huge shot from him at just the right time. Now, Josh, I know that as the son of a basketball coach, you will appreciate how satisfying it must be for this team, for their coach, to get a three-pointer out of the timeout.
Oh yeah, of course. Anytime you get a timeout, you want that set to go in your favor. But I think what started it was the speed and pace from the backcourt, because that caught the defense off guard. Jeff, one thing we said in the opening game when we saw B2 select was the shot selection. It was all isolation mode. Not very high percentage. That may be the best play or best collective as a basketball naturalist or purist, if you want to call it, we've seen so far here in this All-Star.
B2 selected on top of the Asian All-Stars here in the B.LEAGUE Asia Cross Tournament 2026 final. Jamaluddin directing traffic. You got Nagano, you got Nakano, you got Hachimura. So many players taking center stage at different times of this game. You got Jamaluddin, he's certainly been in the limelight as well. Here he goes. He's going to drive in, he's going to lay it up in there.
Jeff, I thought they were going to go for a three-pointer, but that was a hell of a move.
Well, you get somebody says you can have a layup. I guess you got to take it, but now you got to play some deep. I almost wonder if you need to foul, not allow him to shoot a three. Okay, they're going to pass it back outside. Watanabe, he's going to go in for the dunk! And that's why the two-handed variety is better. A little bit of power in that. Ravena missing. And Parker has it just 1 point away. I don't think the refs are going to call a foul. Oh, it's going to be Bell from downtown. He wanted to win it. He doesn't. And what's happened here? Is there a foul?
I think that's going back to the Asia imports, but Jeff, the thing for them is they need now another defensive stop to try and win this game. I think definitely Asia imports got away with a push in the back right there.
Oh, wow. Ravena got away with the push. Keeper Ravena. Or did they call that? No, they didn't call.
I think they pulled that one and you Watanabe.
Yeah, you're right. Keeper Ravena has that innocent-looking face. They're not going to call a foul on him. Here's Jamaluddin. Over to Parks. And look at Parks. Oh, Parks made the most beautiful move, but just missed the shot. I think that was the right play because they could not win it. So they might as well take the two. Oh, Tobin has it taken away by Ravena. But then he loses it out of bounds, and Tobin breathes a sigh of relief.
And now it's back to square one for the Asia All-Stars. Now they got to get two stops again to try and win this.
Well, Keeper Ravena was just not going to be fooled. He just knew exactly where that ball was going. Tobin. Ric Flair whoop in relief. Here he goes. Gets it up. They're elected to take the threes instead of driving to the basket. Now Dwight Ramos. I would be surprised if they put up a three on their next possession. Here's Ramos. Oh, it doesn't go. It goes around and out. How cruel. Oh, my. A little bit too much dribbling from Nagano. And Parks is fouled. 2 free throws. Well, Josh, B2 selected, I think, should already be home and dry, but they have been a little bit suspect getting the ball across midcourt. A little bit too much dribbling. They need to get rid of the basketball, find the open man.
Well, it's the same case for the Asia All-Stars, Jeff. They needed 2 stops originally. They've had 3 stops on the last 3 defensive plays in which they could have won this game by now. But I like the little Pinoy step we saw there from Kiefer Raven as he dished it off. But
oh, he missed it on purpose? Surely not. Ravena for 3. I'm curious if Parks missed that on purpose to try to get the basketball in the corner like we saw at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. And the USA got that 4-point play at the end of the 3rd place game against Canada. Three-point shot, another miss, and now a 3 will win it for the Asia All-Stars. And surely they're going to go for the 3-pointer, Josh. Don't call me Shirley. Here goes Jamal Adine. Will it be Parks? Parks drives in, outside it goes. Ravena for 3. Oh, he had the chance to win it. Now another 3 attempt. They got it! By Ramos! He's done it!
I told you, Jeff. I told you this team would come up with the win, but they had to do it the tough way. They had to dig deep, but they went for the 3.
Oh my goodness. Well, the Asian All-Stars, they had to pull some tricks out of the bag to win both of their games, but the quality in the end was there, and they did just enough to get the win. And well, take your pick on who the MVP would be for this team. It doesn't matter. Tobin had some great moments. Missed opportunity, though. Missed opportunity for B2 selected, but they certainly showed us they've got some great basketball players in the B2.
I just think it's been a great occasion. I think the new format definitely made it more competitive, more interesting. And we saw in those last few minutes, Jeff, both teams wanted to win this game. Yes, both sets of players were having fun, enjoying themselves, but how smart was that from Bobby Ray Parks Jr. to deliberately miss the free throw to come up with the rebound?
At the end of the day, it's all about the celebration of the B.LEAGUE and basketball in Japan. And it's been a great start to the weekend. And Dwight Ramos, I wonder how many game winners he's hit in his career.
Well, Jeff, he was a part of that Gilas Filipinas team back in 2021 that hit the big 3-pointer to beat Korea, but that was SJ Belengel. But that's a very good question. I'd like to know that.
I'm sure Lassie Tuovi would like it for him to hit some game winners for Lavanga Hokkaido this season. So we're going to go down to the court. We're going to hear from Jamal Adine.
普段と異なるアジア出身選手同士でのプレー、またチームの雰囲気はいかがでしたか?
Man, it was great getting to play here with all the best players around Asia. We had a lot of fun. At the end of the day, we wanted to be out here and compete for the fans, and that's what we did, so I'm happy.
アジアを代表する選手たちとプレーできて本当に素晴らしい経験でしたし、ファンの皆さんのためにプレーしたこと、それが全てですということです。
Actually, I should say,
続いて大接戦での逆転勝利、チーム最多の15得点で貢献して、自身のプレーはいかがでしたでしょうか?
Lassie Tuovi, the head coach of Yokohama, said he won't want him to hit any threes.
I'm happy about the performance, but I'm more happy about the win. They drew up the plays for me, so I just had to score, so it was fun.
自身のパフォーマンスでもちろん満足なんですけれども、チームの勝利に満足していますと。
素晴らしいプレーを見せてくれました。最後にファンに向けて一言お願いします。
Thank you to all the fans for coming out. You know, a lot of guys here may be playing through injuries and whatnot, but we're here for you guys. So we love all your support and hope to see you throughout the season. ありがとうございます。
ご来場いただきましてありがとうございました。怪我をしてプレーできない選手たちもいたんですけれども、皆さんのためにプレーしましたし、この後のシーズンも頑張りますと。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
それではここで B リーグオールスターアジアクロストーナメント2026において初代チャンピオンとなったエイジアオールスターズには長崎県波佐見町で作られている波佐見焼のオリジナルロゴ入りカップが優勝記念品として贈呈されます。それではチームキャプテンヤン・ジェミン選手、中央にお進みください。プレゼンターは B リーグチェアマン島田真二です。
Recognition for all the great work and delivery. Recognition as the Asia Cross Champion.
長崎県波佐見町で作られている波佐見焼のオリジナルロゴ入りカップ、優勝記念品としてエイジアオールスターズに贈呈がされました。おめでとうございます。ありがとうございました。改めて初代チャンピオンエイジアオールスターズ。
Well, these guys are already assured of having a good time this weekend. They can claim to be members of a winning team.
Shame we didn't get to see him though, Jeff, but understandably, best record in the B-League, they got to protect him to make sure they get into the playoffs and contend for the championship.
Great night. Great opportunity. Just, I would think even if you haven't been selected to be a part of this weekend, that would be a bummer, wouldn't it? Because you might think, oh, you'd like to have some time off. That's not the case. These guys are loving it. You can see it on their faces. They want to be here. They're having a good time.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. And I think to add to that, I mean, if you're having a tough year in the B-League with your club, maybe you're not near the top or in the playoff spot, you can take your mind off and relax. But at the same time, if you are a part of a leading team, you can also just enjoy the euphoria of, you know, what's already a good season. And like I said, the fans, players, coaches, everybody loves what's going on at the moment.
Well, there's Tobin. He didn't get the win, but you can hear him whooping it up over there like Ric Flair by the courtside mic.
He's an icon. The fans love him. He just brings that in. There it is.
Yeah. He's got everybody doing it now. So 29 for B2 selected, 30 for the Asia All-Stars. They win. And I think the happiest people of all are the fans that came out today to take in the action. And more where that came from this weekend. As Japan celebrates the B-League.
ちょっと徐々に試合を追うごとに長崎のこの
Never an empty seat at any B.LEAGUE game, even the All-Star weekend. Impressive, but I think it should be a monument for other pro leagues in the world that it can be achieved. If you can fill up the arenas, you can achieve anything.
Good to see you again. And congrats on the win. Take us through the come-from-behind win.
You know, it's everything. Ray's missed free throw, Kiefer's missed three, Hyunjung's drawn up plays, Omar, we got it done.
いろんな形で、結局このカムバック、勝利をつかむことができたと、レイ・パークスのフリースローのミス、キーファーのミスもあって、最後、自分のシュートにつながったんですけど、take us through that three-pointer that you made to seal it.
You know, Kiefer missed that three, it came straight to me. You know, we got to go for the win, so I made that three.
キーファーのスリーが外れて、僕の方にボールが来たので、もう思い切って打ったら決めることができました。Talk about that missed free throw intentionally by Ray Parks down three to try to go for the win, even though you guys are down two at that point.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and we were like, Ray, just do whatever you want, and he went for the miss.
レイ・パークス選手とはフリースローもう1本決めたら1点差っていうところだったんだけど、やりたいようにやれというふうに言ったら、本当にあえてわざとミスしてスリーポイントを取りに行こうとしたんですけど、最終的に自分がシュートを決められて勝ててよかったです。What does this say about Asia imports in the B.LEAGUE being able to capture the first championship of this tournament?
Yeah, you know, we had a small team. A bunch of guys were injured, but we still got it done. So just says how talented the group of guys are, and Asia quarter players, you know, credit to them.
アジア枠の選手として今日勝てたっていうのはすごく嬉しいことで、しかもロスターも9人しかいない中、怪我人などがいて、出られなかった選手もいて、サイズが足りてなかった中でも勝てたっていうのはすごく我々にとっては嬉しいことなので、勝ててよかったです。Congratulations!
Thank you, thank you.
ドワイト・ラモス選手でした。そしてそのまま、マーカス・トービー選手にも話を伺いますね。残念ながら負けてしまいましたね。でも振り返ってください。
はい、負けちゃった。でも神様ありがとう。めっちゃ楽しくて、本当にいつも最初 B リーグ入る前にでも、僕 NBA がめっちゃ大好きだったので、いつか絶対オールスターの選手になりたかったので、やっとこのチャンスあって本当に感謝して、今日めっちゃ頑張りました。ごめんね、負けちゃってすみませんでしたみんな。はい、
第1戦はスリーポイント外してしまいましたけど、第2戦はシュートタッチがよく10得点、絶好調でしたね。
絶好調でした。なんかちょっと失礼だな、なんか僕ボール持つときペイントで待ってちょっと失礼だなと思ったから、もうスミオの真似でスリーポイント決めました。はい、
ちょっと捨てられてた感じだけどそこちゃんとオープンを、決めたというところですからね。それは今後に生かせますよね。コーチにもアピールできますね。それは打てるよと。
そうよね、打てれます。ソゲキングです、僕は。任せて。
じゃあ最後に、今会場の、皆さんにも最後ふーっとねアピールできましたけど、このカメラを通して、千葉ジェッツのファン、東京ユナイテッドのブースター、そして、福井ブローウィンズのブースターの皆さんにメッセージをお願いします。
またもう B ユナイテッドの時負けたからちょっと悔しくて、今日絶対勝つぞと思ったけどまた負けちゃったらすみません。でもこれからもう僕成長するから、その時も一緒に頑張りましょう。応援よろしくお願いします。これからお願いします。いや、みんな本当にありがとう。お疲れ。じゃあね。
That's iconic.
ありがとうございました。
Yeah, truly. Hey. Everybody's doing it.
That's how you know how big it is when the fans buy into it and they start, replicating what you're doing as a play. It's big, and they love him in Japan, and it was still a big season for him as he heads back to play in the B2, but still a very bright talent.
Yeah, absolutely, and also, my understanding of Japanese is quite limited, but I was getting excited listening to him speak in Japanese. He just has so much life, so much energy.
Well, it's a very difficult language to learn. I've tried it many times, but he's been brought up with that language as a young kid. But you're right, he's such a very lively, charismatic young man.
Okay, so here's a look back at the final highlights. And B2 select Selected had nothing to lose. They came out going up against this Asian All-Stars team, engaged as good as they got. Dwight Ramos, who would have known that, you know, he would have been responsible at that point for the game winner at the end, but he got that early one. Then went kind of quiet. And it felt like B2 Selected were just going to take off. Certainly Tobin took off. Took the runway. Had a couple of dunks today. Had one in the semifinal as well. And then you had knock it down from deep, Masuda. By the way, that was Tobin said, thanks to God, I dreamed to be an all-star when I was young. I played like Fumio Nishimura, the Cheetah Jets today. Sorry fans, we lost, but kept doing tough plays and keep continuing to cheer us. Gonna keep playing hard. Thanks, fans.
Jeff is quite an iconic player and legendary player, Fumio Nishimura, who was actually there when he was at the Chiba Jets in his competitive stuff. You know, the fans will take nothing away. They absolutely love the atmosphere and the showcase he put on both on and off the court.
Three made by Nakano. And Parks. Trojan the three. And from the wing, you had Hachimura. And at this point, they go to 27, and you're like, okay, looks like it's going to be them.
And that was the play you mentioned right out of the timeout. But very cool, calm, collected play. But Jamela did in my mind. I mean, he was a force to be reckoned with in this game. If he didn't play, they wouldn't have won.
Yeah, they could not stop him, could they? They could only contain him. They could only hope to contain him. Look at Watanabe showing a little bit of power, a little bit of thunder. But 29 didn't win it. He needed 30. And when it came down to this, the long rebound, and despite Tobin trying to block the shot, Dwight Ramos got it off in time, and the Asia All-Stars celebrate first ever victory, and Tobin will take it in his stride. So it's been a great day here in Nagasaki. And you can see that, again, the Asia All-Stars win it over the B2 Selected earlier today. It was Kyushu United winning over the Rising Stars.
Well, great occasion, Jeff, from all the teams featured today. I think Kyushu might be disappointed how they began the semifinal game, but big credit to the B2 Selected. But as I said, Asia All-Stars, for another year, they proved to be dominant in their matchup here in the All-Star weekend.
Yeah, just, I guess, testament to the quality of the Asian players, because even as Dwight Ramos said, they had a lot of guys that couldn't play because they were injured, like Lee Hyung-jun or sick, but they still had enough to win the game.
Well, that concludes the All-Star for the weekend for at least these players, Jeff. Still, events to come up for the upcoming games and players, but like I said, it'd be very eager, or interesting, I should say, to see how these players now return to their clubs in B1, B2, and find out how their seasons will culminate in the end.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun watching the rest of this. It's going to be a lot of fun watching the rest of this season